morning. Welcome to the classiest place on earth and happy Faded Friday. Yeah, I for days. I'm honestly just excited to sleep and then wake up every day. So, another one. I hope you're doing well. Good morning, everybody. My monitors aren't blinking today, so I'm feeling very good. The undead, I know. Still not dead. Working on it. I think Zach might have almost died. No shit. That fucker didn't sleep for the last 3 days. Pretty sure last night's the first time he slept in 3 days. COVID. Shit sucks. Shit, it's Friday. I don't know. Barry, time isn't real. It's just not real. We don't know. We have no idea. I have migrants, honestly, I have no idea. I think it's like my theory is that, we both were like down for a week and then he didn't take any joy that whole time. Neither did I. Like we were just sleeping. And so the first 3 days back on his meds, I think fried his brain a little. And he just couldn't, like, he said he would get tired and then just lay there and stare at a wall all night long. And when I woke up this morning at 6, I was like, you please be asleep. Like, I just crept out of the room. I hope. I know, not dead. Dude, Cleve, and you're not dead. How do you feel? Have you ever thought about how great your screen name is for your recent event? Because I did. It's Wednesday? No, it's not. You could convince me of that, Barry. Don't fuck with me. My brain doesn't work. It's possible. It could actually be Wednesday. I have no idea. I know. I know. It's not. No, don't do that to me. Cleve, right? Cleave the land, cleave the nut, whatever. Do what you need to do. Erican, how are you feeling? I did that shit last night, was falling asleep reading in bed, turning off the light, and that's exactly what he described to me. That's literally what he said was happening. Like, he would sit there, put on the most boring show, like, not a boring, but, something calm. Like, he was watching, like, Planet Earth or something like that, narrated by Samuel L. Jackson. I don't know what it was, some animal show. But he said literally he'd get tired and turn everything off, and his brain would just turn right back on. I felt really bad for him, but yeah. The last 2 days of him streaming have been on no sleep, and the poor fucker, dude, it's just hell. Sleep is something everybody needs. Did my monitor just blink? Not today. We're not in the mood. Oh, God. My balls have not fallen off. They won't, and that's the beauty of it. Dude, I am tripping through time. It's crazy. I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm just running off of, like, pure, what, routine? Like, literally, if I didn't have a routine, I don't think I'd get out of bed yet. Maybe, because 'cause I'm still fucked. I live in the UK and keep East Coast time, but I also have an offset week as I take Tuesdays as my Sunday, so it's Wednesday today. You take Tuesday as your Sunday, so it's Wednesday today. What? Barry, so many things are making sense about you right now. Just your general state of existence, to be honest. I guess I could technically do that. My Friday is Sunday and my Monday is my Saturday, Sunday. I technically could do that, but I don't want to hurt myself like that. Barry lives in an alternate universe, no shit. Still coughing, but better, much better. Two things. Shaq has a restaurant called Big Chicken, and the food is amazing. Shocking, but also not. Secondly, those insurance bastards are sending me 6 weeks of benefits at once. Dude, you should treat yourself. That's exciting. I'm jelly. My routines get fucked at the slightest inconvenience. I mean, I get that too. But I have to like stop and tell myself that they're not actually fucked. I am self-sabotaging myself because the inconvenience bothered me, but really I can just keep going. So I've become kind of a bitch and I just ignore everything in my way. Just like walk on top of the things in your way. They learn to get out of the way. A double dose of melatonin to sleep last night. Must be something in the water. I think it's the change, like the seasonal change. We're all getting less vitamin D, less sunshine. Our bodies like want to be awake, but also really want to sleep because it's just dark all the time now. It's weird. It happens every year. Thank you, Migrants. I appreciate it. I only knew it was Friday because I had to take some people to the airport. I haven't slept yet. Dude, the fuck is with the no sleeping? There is something in the water. None of you are sleeping. I mean, I sleep a little bit, but I cough, but I'm at least sleeping. Today is Faded Friday, and is it gonna look dirty? I changed one of my lights to be less warm, so it didn't make my water in my bong look yellow all day. It looks so dirty. Oh, daylight savings on Sunday. Fuck that shit. I will say I had to go under for my procedure, and recovery is a bit longer than expected. My wonderful wife is jonesing to use the dude. Have they? So you had the procedure. I can't remember. Like you have the procedure, and then do you go in a week later as a checkup, or do you? From what I remember, you like jerk off in a cup procedure, and then they're like, okay, you have to ejaculate 20 times the next 6 weeks, and then come back and jerk off in a cup. I remember that part, and we all had a little ha 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 laugh about that. No Nut November is stupid. Nut away, motherfuckers. Nut away. They're kind of catching up with the checks, but it's a decent chunk of change. I'll be putting 2/3 of it in savings. Dude, yes. That is so smart in case they do this shit again. Absolutely. It's fucked that that is even possible. Like that's even legal. It just seems so broken. Yep. Saturday, Sunday, what did it fall back? Do we lose an hour? I don't know. It sucks no matter what. Lose an hour, gain an hour. It's all stupid. Didn't we vote as a country to get rid of daylight savings times? But like scientists are like can't decide if we should be on daylight or not daylight time. It didn't pass. Oh, I thought it did. Oh, it didn't. That's so. Oh, daylight savings time is stupid. We're all gonna do the rollback thing soon. You know, the thing we voted to get rid of and nobody will. It's so. And there's a couple states who don't have it and they're fine. There are some states who have just eliminated daylight savings and they're all fine. They're not dead. Why? It's so dumb. Ooh, the sun just went away. Thank you. Oh, calmness. Extra hour sleep, earlier sunrise, earlier sunset. Okay, there you go. Yeah, 2 a.m. will miraculously turn into 1 a.m. I remember I had to work at the hospital one time, a night shift during, I can't remember which daylight, if it was fallback or spring forward or whatever, but they just straight up didn't pay us for an hour of work. Like we worked an extra 2 hours, I think, because of the weird roll. It was like, once midnight hit, it just became midnight again. Like it was midnight twice in a row. It was really weird. And they just straight up didn't pay us. And we actually raised some guff. Like the night shifters were like, I'm sorry, you can't just fuck us because of daylight savings time. And everybody in the hospital was like, sucks to suck. Literally, their advice was make sure to work the next daylight savings time and it makes up for it. Because they get paid for an hour they're not there. These are your nurses, my dudes. These are the people paid to keep you alive. My God. Paid. Hawaii and Arizona, there you go. Yeah, and they're fine. I mean, Arizona hasn't had it since I can remember. My parents or my grandparents lived there. We used to visit all the time, and I loved it because there was no fucking daylight savings time. It's sitting stalled right now because, quote, there are more important things to deal with that will get. Is this that? I mean, literally all they have to do is like, okay, it's not anymore. Goddamn. It's one less hour of drinking, dude. We're drinking which beverage? Fuck that. It is. It's evil. Hospitals are evil. They don't care about anything at all but money. They care about nothing but money. Like it's money, don't get sued, money, money, money. That's it. Back when I worked events, we used club clock. The clocks didn't change till the club closes. Is that like casino time? Is that like a ploy to keep people inside so they don't know what time it is? That was one of the like weird things about Vegas that I just didn't realize as a kid, I guess, living there half my life. There are no clocks or windows in casinos, and they do it on purpose. They want you to have no fucking idea what time it is outside, and it's kind of wild. It was very weird. Like, I'm not time obsessed, but I did have things I wanted to do, and I just found myself staring at my phone a lot because there's no fucking clocks anywhere. Unions would have saved us. Yeah, East Coast hospitals have no unions. It's fucked up. Cheers, by the way. Happy Faded Friday. Where's my lighter? I just woke up 20 minutes ago, so my throat is really dry, so I needed to chug some coffee. Cheers. No shit. As night shift in the military doing 3 2 2 3s, we always got fucked for DST. Yep. I'm glad. I mean, you shouldn't be fucked for DST, but I'm glad we weren't the only ones because it really felt like they were just straight up doing something illegal and we couldn't do anything about it and nobody cared. Like, yeah, it's only an hour, but No, you're fuckers. You're using us. This is just using. There's some debate whether to go with daylight savings time or standard time because there are experts arguing for standard time, but the bill's sponsors want to keep DST, so it's stalled right now. And that's the part I don't understand because why does one or the other matter? Like, just put us on a consistent time. That's all we want. We don't care about that hour. We'll adjust. 12 for 6 days straight? Dude, I used to do that as a nurse and it was bad. Cheers, Doc Crimbo. It was bad. Like, it's not a good. I used to do that when I worked at Hopkins. I would work 8 days so I could have 6 days off. And you could do that because you could roll over the weeks, you know what I mean? Like, bundle them together. But holy shit, working 6 12-hour shifts in a row is, especially nights, you just start to forget what. The sun came out. I apologize. You just forget what it's like to be human. It's really weird. HR is there to protect the hospital, not the employees. They don't give a fuck about us. No. Mm-mm. Poor night nurses. My night nurses had to chase down a person with dementia. She was my neighbor, and her bed alarm went off at 2 a.m. And the poor nurses had a whole scuffle about it. My meds got pushed back because of it, and I wasn't mad about it. They were so frazzled. That shit happens all the time, and it's like you kind of thrive off of your schedule as a nurse. Like, that's the only, like, without your Q4s, your Q2s, your Q6s, without your exact routine that you have planned at the beginning of your shift, you would not get all your work done because yours just overworks and you have way too many patients. And if anything goes out of the ordinary, everybody gets pushed back. And you're just sitting there, sitting in the out of the ordinary experience, like, you know it. You're just cyclically thinking, like, room 2 is not going to get that med. Room 3 is not going to get this med. Room 4 has just shit themselves, and room 5 is naked in the hallway. But this person's dying, and there's no one here. And it's that constant, like, all night long, you're just waiting with anxiety for something to fuck you up because you can't do things early. So it's not like you can go do your work and get it out of the way. Meds are scheduled on a purpose, or on time for a purpose. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just fucked all around. It sucks, and you just feel bad because, yeah, there are some patients who don't give a shit, but a lot of patients really do, especially if you're an engineer. Just a personality type. No, yeah, HR is never. Honestly, Knives, I've never met a hospital HR person in my life. I've contacted them and I've talked to them through email many, many times, but I have never actually met one ever before because they do everything in their possible power to stay away from you and not speak with you at all. I don't care. Exactly, Trouble. Same. I don't give a fuck. Daily savings time during the winter months would fuck with northern states. Sundown would be 3 to 4 p.m. sometime. Wouldn't we adjust? I mean, that happens no matter what, though. It's like it's only an hour. I don't know. This is just I've always lived in northern state. I've never lived any more south than like DC, and I feel like night comes early no matter what you do with daylight savings time. Like, all of a sudden it's dark when I get off work, and we've all kind of just that's winter. Does 60 minutes really, like, alter our existence that much? I don't know, maybe. I know it was, like, allegedly invented for farmers, but farmers all collectively have said, "Fuck that shit, we don't need that, we have lights and electricity now, what the fuck?" I can't handle casinos, used one for a cheap hotel, excuse me, in Reno on a road trip, couldn't get to my room without overstimulated and lost. Oh, they're terrible. The one thing that used to get me as a kid, I don't. No, you can still smoke in casinos. When I was a kid, I don't know why, but it felt like the casinos were just a cloud of secondhand cigarette smoke. And I used to go in them all the time with my grandparents and my mom and shit like that, and I would get a headache almost instantaneously in every single casino. I think you can still smoke in them now, but they must be ventilating them better or something like that because I just don't get that. I think there was one casino I walked through where I couldn't get over. All you smelt was like Febreze and cigarettes in your face at the same time, like the stale, like they were trying to cover it up in the ventilation. I can't remember which casino it was, but that one I walked through it and I was like, I hate this. They're like, hey, we got people to work for free. Well done, us. Exact. Literally, it's probably they probably high five. Dude, the sun is just coming and going. I'm sorry about this light change right now. It'll level out probably. Circus is literally was my home as a child. That was like our fucking stomping grounds. We got 1 day off, and it was burnout central. Yep, and that's the thing, like, that's what I was gonna say. Thank you, Bubblicious, for reminding me. So I used to do that exactly thing, like, work 6 12-hour shifts to get 4 off or whatever in a row or 6 off, whatever I could line up. But you're so fucking like, emotionally, physically drained from working 6 12-hour night shifts in a row that you spend over half of your days off just trying to recover and also trying to flip your brain to be a day shift person again because regardless of how you live, people are awake during the day and office hours are daytime. So if you want to go to the post office or literally do anything, you have to be awake before 2 p.m. And it's just, you're just constantly, I felt like I was always tired. Like I was just existentially fatigued because I had no idea when the fuck I was sleeping or getting any sleep. We commiserate. Amen. Cheers on that. I'm glad. I mean, it sucks. I loved night shift. Like, if the world could just become more 24-hour so I didn't have to be awake during daytime hours, night shift was great. It was all my education was put to use, but none of the busy work that's to look good. Because day shift is when administration's walking around and residents with their doctor teachers are walking around in their cute little white coat clusters, and you have to look pretty and sound pretty. Nighttime is business. If someone's dying, we're all serious, we're cracked down, and we're saving that person. Day shift, you got to look pretty while you do it. And I just never jived with that atmosphere. I much preferred, and night shift people are more tend to be just interesting and fun, and I liked them. Day shift people tended to have families and kids and be really fucking stressed out all the time, and it just was really overwhelming. No shit, I met an HR person. They only ever did anything for me when I harped on them constantly. They were probably afraid you were gonna sue. When I was in for COVID, I was like, "Shit, I'll never bother you. Just bring me a shit ton of water and my meals. The rest is up to you. Oh, no, sneak me extra food if you don't eat it, dude. Always ask for food. You're a good. Honestly, vast majority of the patients I ever had were like that. Most human beings don't want to be bothered and don't want to bother someone ever. But every once in a while, you fucking get someone in the hospital who's quite obviously there because they want their hand held and they want to be taken care of and you're like, "Okay, but your neighbor's dying. I understand that those saltine crackers are a little stale, but you're just gonna have to hold your fucking horses." Like, I've had people literally ask to stay an extra night because it was just so relaxing and we took so good care of them. I'm like, "Thank you so much, but bye." She says it's the embodiment of high school clique. HR is the popular kids look down on all the people that come from resources. I believe that. My mom was a respiratory therapist for like 40 plus years. The last 10-ish years of her before she retired, she went into administration. Her boss had retired or quit or was fired or something like that. And she was like, whatever, it'll double my salary for 10 years. I'll cash a bunch away for retirement. And I've never forgot this because the reason I went into nursing, respiratory therapy, etc., was because my mom was a respiratory therapist, my father was a respiratory therapist, my dad's mom was an inhalation therapist at a nunnery before respiratory therapist even existed. Like it was in my blood. I was just inundated in healthcare as a kid, and my mom loved her job. Like, it's dark, obviously, but there's a lot of rewarding aspects of it, and when she went into administration, I can't remember how many hours she'd been or how many hours, how many years she'd been doing it so far, but she basically went from working 3 12-hour shifts a week, day shifts, because 'cause she'd worked there so long, she got prime shifts, to working 5 12-hour salaried shifts a week because admit she was a working therapist administrator. So she went to work in scrubs, did all the administration, and worked the floors. And I can't remember how many years in, but she looked. We were driving to work one day because we carpooled, and she looked at me and said, "You know what, Katie? I've never hated my job before in my life, and I fucking hate my job." And it scared me. I've never heard her. She's just one of those. She's kind of toxically positive a little bit, but she genuinely loved her job. Was very rewarding. Had worked there so many years. Like one of her coworkers, another respiratory therapist, was the first person to ever hold me out of her fucking vagina. Like she's just inundated in that hospital. And being in administration for a couple years destroyed her soul. It was just terrible because you see the worst sides of people. All the employees that were her friends and like her team and her coworkers suddenly she was the bad guy because she was the boss and they just flipped and it was horrible. They would literally like call each other in the morning to call out together kind of thing like and when you only have 6 respiratory therapists, it's real hard to make up the difference when 3 call out at the same time because they don't feel like it. I felt lots of empathy for her, sympathy. It was just terrible to watch. The raptures it is. Do you see this light happening? The sun there's some clouds, something's happening outside. Oh, they had smoking sections. Smoke hold on, smoke, eater technology has gotten so much better. That must be it then, yeah. Good morning, Rod. Yeah, right? Night shift was the best. Not sure you read the Atlantic article about the nocturnals who just live at night and sleep during the day. That was me. I mean, honestly, that's why people call me the night mother. If you've ever heard someone come into chat every once in a while randomly and be like, "The night mother." I used to stream 8 PM to 5 AM because it coincided with my working schedule, so I would work 3 days a week and then stream the rest, and that was my stream schedule. I was that person, and I loved it. If the world, worked with me, but if I have to go to the post office, for instance, it was real fucking hard. It was like imagine if you're a person who sleeps at night like most people do, you have to wake up at 1 AM to go to the post office. Or 2 AM. That was basically what it felt like. I had to set an alarm for 2 AM to go to the post office or go somewhere that was gonna close or like at 5 or something, and that just fucking sucks. Oh my god, if you have ghosts, you do have everything. It's just facts. Like a shift over 8 hours? I loved the 12-hour shifts, honestly. I don't know, time really flew by for me. How are you, Honorab? Niels, oh my god! Night, did you see, were your ears burning? Did you hear me talk about the Night Mother thing, or was that just really happy coincidence? It's also a corpse in Skyrim. But yeah, I used to stream real fucking late. Coworkers aren't your friends at the end of the day. They're like, you're right. It's kind of like working in a kitchen. If you've ever worked in a kitchen, like a kitchen of a restaurant, it's similar feeling. Like you're a team, and I don't know how to explain this, but like the people you work with, you literally depend on life and death kind of shit. Like if I call you and you're on a break eating a sandwich, but I desperately need something because my patient is coding, I know you'll tuck your sandwich in your pocket, grab the thing I need, and sweat your balls, run to me, throw it into the room, and then stand outside with your sandwich and wait and eat it if I need anything else. I like there's this it's a relationship like that that's just unique, and you kind of it's almost like going through a traumatic experience with someone, like, there's a level of bonding over having that kind of atmosphere and working in it with someone, and then suddenly, when they go from seeing you as a team member, just seeing you as the boss, like, that mental shift, I just watched it. I mean, these people that I'd known for my entire existence, literally, they were there where I was born because I was born at this hospital my mom worked at for 40 plus years, turn into bitches. They were just mean because suddenly my mom was the person in control of whether or not they got Christmas off. Which like work Christmas, you get double time and a half to sit around and do nothing because no one comes in on Christmas. It's the best shift. That was not planned. Oh my god, that's beautiful. The worst part of coworkers is when they try and manipulate you. Yes. Those thankfully I didn't work with too many of those. A job listing you and your coworker both want, see how quickly that changes. Yeah, in the hospital it was all by seniority, so it wasn't too bad. But definitely, I mean, for instance, I think I've told you guys this. It's not a big story, but like I had so at Hopkins where I worked, most hospitals other than Hopkins that are smaller than that, usually respiratory therapists have a centralized respiratory therapy unit where we coffee cheers, where we all congeal after we do all of our meds, we talk, help each other out, whatever, and then we go out to our assigned floors. Like I'm a surgical ICU person, so I would go to the surgical ICUs, but then I would always come back to that central place. But because Hopkins is so fucking big and vast, we have a unit, but none of us go back there. We all just stay on in our assigned floors. So instead of sitting together and eating lunch, sitting together having coffee at the beginning of the shift, sitting together and commiserating after the shift, we are all completely separate. And the only other RT you really ever see is the day shift person taking over for you next. They come in a half hour before your shift is over, you give them a report, and you peace out. And you, in Hopkins, because it's so big, they like you to specialize in a unit. So the day shift person that I was usually handing off to was one of three people, always one of the three same people. And I fuck you not. I would come in for my shift at nighttime at the end of their day shift, and they would give me report and then look me in the eye and be like, I don't really feel like working, so I think I might call out tomorrow. But they don't call out. They don't tell a manager. They do nothing until 2 hours before their shift is supposed to start at the end of my 12-hour shift. But my entire 12-hour shift, I already know I'm staying for 16 hours. You have just signed my death warrant. I get to stay till noon today and then come in again that night because you didn't feel like it. And that happened countless times. I could not tell you how many times that happened with multiple people. and they don't give, I mean, there's just not an ounce of anything. They know you're the one. They know it. That's why they're telling you. They're silently saying, "Prepare for an extra long shift, bitch, because I feel like being lazy." And you work 3 days a week. Like, that's all you can because they're 12-hour shifts and no hospital will schedule you over 40 hours. So imagine those of you who work 5, 6 days a week being so fucking miserable, lazy, whatever your excuse is, that you can't come in 3 days a week. Days, actual day shifts. Like, you have to call out, fuck me, and work 2 a week, a fiscal week. It's show me you've never worked a job that's real without showing me you've never worked a real job where you work, all over the place. You don't have a set schedule. You could work 3 hours in the morning, go home for 4, come back for 3 more hours. Like, Jesus Christ, they're just spoiled fucking cunts, but they're like twice my age with kids my age and adults, and I'm supposed to look up to them, and I'm like, what is wrong? Who broke you? Ugh, sorry. Shit would that kind of stuff, it's just so inconsiderate. I think maybe I'm damaged in a way that I can't move forward without thinking of how it affects people around me in any way. And these people are just like, fuck you, bitch. It's nauseating and I hate it. I have a sandwich in my mouth. Yum. Vegas hospitality workers may go on strike today. No shit, good for them. I'm still friends with some former coworkers. Me too, honestly. How are you, Valandor? Good morning. Happy coincidence. I said that before you mentioned the Night Mother title. I'll call you that because he is on Ghost. Yeah. I mean, people still do pretty honestly all the time. And every once in a while, someone's like, what the fuck is the Night Mother shit? And I'm like, A, you obviously haven't played Skyrim. B, I had a different life. I was a different day, a different time. God, that sound is so bad today. Some major hotels could lose housekeeping and kitchen staff to the strike. They should pay those people what they're worth. Thank you for those biddies, Valandor. I appreciate you. Sorry for the early morning rant. That stuff, it's grow up, you know? People around you are human beings. They all are living a life. Like, being that fucking selfish and self-centered and just inconsiderate. I don't know. It's not hard. It's really not hard to be considerate. Just, like, do your job. You know? Good morning, Jade. How are you? Good morning, Kills. I kind of feel glad that all the rude people coming to Vegas to watch cars might have to fend for themselves. I kind of think that's hilarious. Oh, no. The only downside is hotels are planning to fuck their non-union workers during the strike. I believe that. Not shocked at all, sadly. I'm sorry I was late in a hospital for a month because of surgery. Oh, surgery issues? Oh, shit. The nurses or specialists were on point and had more information than some doctors. Oh, 100%. Um, Doctors, no shit. They are the smartest person in the room. Like, in terms of just general, like, rote memorization level intelligence. Like, they go to school more than us. They have to study more than us. They definitely know more than us. The problem is, in my experience, they don't have any time. Literally, they're not scheduled any time to indulge that intelligence literally on anyone. So they write an order for a nurse, and then we sit down with the patient and give all the information based on the order written. It really sucks. Like, I worked in a clinic for a while, and it doesn't make it right. I'm not giving an excuse. It's fucked up, and it creates a culture of, like, really impersonal, mean doctors. But when I worked in a clinic, I would do an hour and a half pulmonary function test, a PFT to a patient, which is where we, like, lock you in a glass box, put you on a breathing machine, and have you, like, huff and puff, and we measure all these volumes about your lungs and shit like that. This test takes an hour and a half to do, and it's a booklet that prints out of my computer of all different graphs and shit explaining different types of resistance diseases or I won't go there. Too many details this early in the morning. Anyways, and then I would go give that to a pulmonologist, the pulmonologist doctor, and the doctor is scheduled 15 minutes with that patient to describe everything I just did to them and what their lungs are. And the clinic does that because the clinic wants to make money. The clinic manager is never a doctor. It's never a medical professional. It's just a money-hungry cunt who's usually a wife of somebody who got in. And and they will just push and push. I mean, they'll come at me and be like, "Can you get that hour and a half test down to 45 minutes?" Fuck yourself. And it's just money. And it sucks because I know a lot of really, really good pulmonologists who, like, they look like they're close to tears because they have to roll through patients so fucking fast. And they were really getting on a roll explaining something to one patient. Now the next patient's coming in and knocking at the door. And, like, you guys know waiting room times. That's why. It's not because a doctor's lazy or a patient is talking too much. They want to actually give the care they're supposed to be giving, and they're just not allotted at any time. It's fucked up. And it's because doctors are the most expensive thing to charge for in a hospital, so they want to get the most out of them. It's just disgusting. Thank you so much for resummoning the class, keeping the classy alive, and giving an A swings on this fine ass faded Friday. Robo, how are you, love? That's a lot.
Happy 44, bitch.
That's a lot of months. Your rants give me life. Dude, fuck yes. It's crazy that I've been out of it for like almost 4 years and I still get pissed about it. It unfortunately won't happen, which is shitty. The last strike like that in Vegas was in the 90s, and owners let that go for 6 years. Wow. Oh my god, shut up, Yeet. No shit. Tomorrow, November 4th, is UK's National Sex Toy Day. What do you do on that day? It only ended because the places were eventually told to someone else, and the person just hired new workers. That's basically what they would do, right? That's fucked up. And it's like, I mean, hospitality is the money of Vegas, right? Hospitality and gambling. You know they can afford to pay these people much better. And nurses have the bedside manner. I mean, unfortunately, that's the way it always goes. Like, I've I know this many doctors that I would feel, goddamn that son. I know this many doctors maybe that I would trust giving comfort to a patient verbally over a nurse. Neuro being one of them. It's Seahorse. I mean, there's no perfect place to work. Everywhere sucks. But I feel like places like hospitals, military, things like that that are necessary and have to exist, they get away with a lot of bullshit because like they have to exist. And unfortunately, they prey on a personality type that's like a caregiving martyrdom kind of personality type where, for instance, if my coworker says, I'm not going to come in tomorrow because I just don't feel like it, but I'm not going to call out until 1 hour before your shift is over. So the bosses have exactly zero time to get anyone in here on time to take the next shift. So you're definitely working a shift and a half. Yes, I'm pissed. It's wrong. They shouldn't do that. Like, I should be able to punt. Like, there should be some sort of repercussions for this behavior this adult is enacting. However, I'm never going to just clock out and leave a unit of patients of mine ever. And they count on that. It's the same with like breaks, lunches, etc. I've never worked at a hospital where there's a 12-hour shifter who clocks in and out for a lunch or actually hands their phone patients off to someone and actually mentally checks out for 30 minutes. It doesn't exist because it's impossible to pull off. And none of us are literally going to hear our phone go off and be like, "Oh my god, a code." I don't care where I am or what I'm doing. I'm going to pinch my loaf, shove my sandwich in my pocket, and I'm going to run to that code and save my patient. And every nurse would, and they count on that. Which, I mean, good, right? What do you do? It's fucked. It's a fucked system. Oh my god, did you sleep? You did? Yes, he slept. I wasn't sure because you were making some sleep giggles this morning. I was like, oh, fuck. All right. He slept, everyone. We have success. This is why I love my primary. It takes a while to get in, but always gets it to me straight and takes as long as he needs to go over everything. That's phenomenal. I mean, does he have his own practice? Do they have their own practice? That's the one pro to them having their own practice is they get to control that. And they know that 15 minutes is not adequate. I don't care what the fuck the patient. I mean, 15 minutes is barely enough time to get the small talk over just to get your patient comfortable enough to say vagina out loud. For fuck's sake, like God. Good morning, reasonable. Are you talking about my ex? I don't think so, creative. I hope not. That'd be weird because I don't know them. I don't think he is. No. Is it late? Nope. He just literally he hadn't slept for 3 days. Like 2 nights and 3 days, and last night was the night where It was like we were gonna drug him or something because he just couldn't, I mean, sleep for the life of him. Like, he would do the lay down, get sleepy, turn everything off, brain awake thing. So, I boiled that carcass literally all day yesterday, like 17 hours, and I made homemade chicken noodle soup last night, and it was fucking phenomenal. Oh my god. But I gave him a bowl, like a pho bowl, fucking full of homemade chicken noodle soup, and he clocked. Nurses really are a personal type. My aunt, in law was a nurse. The woman is 75 years old, and she will still break her own damn ankles to try and help someone else. My mom is the same. My mom is a retired respiratory therapist of like 50 plus years in the practice. She's 70 something, and she would, to this day, pull her car over if she saw someone in an accident that wasn't responded to yet. She'd crawl into that car and pull a body out. Like, it's just a different personality. Yeah. How long did it take you to deprogram from that heightened state of response? I still have it. It's really weird. It's a heightened state of response, but you're extremely non-reactive. And I think I still totally have it. I still get comments on it. Like, when loud, scary things happen, I just kind of to it. I don't jump. Like, I'm still hyper aware. Like, I can't one of the things I don't think it'll ever go away because it's not necessarily from working in the hospital, it's the like, I went to school for, like, 9 years and just drilling human body science into your brain for X amount of years. Like, it's like a switch that goes off. And my worst personal trait is that while I'm out in public amongst human beings, I cannot help but look at their physical traits and start to diagnose things wrong with them in my head. Like, I could just like, I can tell if you have heart failure by the shape of your fingernails, and so if I'm, like, counting money back to someone or giving money to a cash register and I notice they have clubbed fingers, I'm like, "Oh my god, you're dying." Like, I can't stop, or, like, I can hear wheezes in people or hear a particular kinda cough or a particular kinda breathing style just standing near someone. That I can't, or, like, the color of your cornea, I don't know, there's weird things that you learn, and I just can't stop that ever. You know? It's like the Matrix thing, like, all I see is red dress, blonde hair. I just see, like, congestive heart failure and asthma and emphysema all over the place, and that is weird. But, yeah, I think most medical care workers have that. We're just hyper, aware at all times, but we don't jump, we just react very quickly, but calmly, and I still do that. Like, I don't jump, which is odd. I've jump scared sometimes in games, though, that's new, that's good. Oh, really? It's only him and another woman that takes care of people. It's a big medical place, but it's basically his own office. Lucky. That's seriously the way to go. But I don't know if I ever deprogram because, like, chat knows. I don't know. It's like I give them a hard time, but I think it really is like chat knows there's a button. Like, we can start our day talking about games or politics, but if they get me on hospital medicine, it's like I can't. I just. It's like I go into a mode and my brain just starts to vomit. I can't stop it. I think it's just always in there, you know? There's just something about drilling something like that so hard in your head, it's almost like a language. It's almost like reading music. Like, you might take a break from playing an instrument, but you're familiar with the language still. Like, you'll always be able to read a scale. It's kinda something like that. I don't know, it's very bizarre, but it's just too much it's taking up too much of my space. It's definitely like a core chunk. Just was hearing about predatory people who seek personality types to suck the life out of, 100%. I mean, what do you think those, like, career aptitude tests are? Silver, 100%. He starts, I believe, at 11 my time, which is in 1 hour. What time is that? Like 10 AM West Coast, right? He's literally never lived in West Coast time and has always tweeted his stream start in West Coast hours. Baffling. But, he is pretty fucking reliable on that time every single day. I wanna start making more soap. Even homemade type stuff at the store is so salty. Dude, it's dummy easy to make soup at home. No shit. Soup is one of those things, it's literally water and whatever you throw in there. I love getting those instead of, like, bouillon cubes or, like, buying, like, stock or something these days, you can get it's like a jar of, like, stock paste, and I just always have, like, chicken, beef, and vegetable in the fridge at all times, and that shit, throw that in a pot of water, and then any vegetable and meat or whatever the fuck you want, soup. It's phenomenal, and like, when you look at the cost of canned soup, like, yeah, it's cheap, but also exponentially cheaper just to make your own, and you don't have fucking cans everywhere. Hi, boy, Will. How are you, love? The fact that people help save lives and help save lives, and who are those people who drop everything to do so are dragged through the dirt mentally and physically is insane to me. It is sickening. The grossest part, the part that really started to chase me out of it, and not to get sappy, but thank you all so much for hanging out with me, supporting my channel in any way, shape, or form, because you are the reason I don't have to unplug people anymore. So thank you so much. Um, get rid of that. That's gone now. No more sap. The sickest part, oh God, how do I word it? I have never known a nurse, respiratory therapist, et cetera, even doctors who are able to support a household and work at one hospital because of that 3-shift, 12-hour, 36, can't go over 40-hour bullshit. Hospitals will do everything in their power not to pay you overtime because overtime is a lot and they'll schedule you in overtime and then write you up for it. It's crazy. They will not pay you overtime. So the max amount of hours you can get at one hospital as a full-time employee is 36 hours. So every single person I know works at 2 to 3 to 4 different hospitals. So you end up working 5 to 6 12-hour shifts a week, but every hospital you're working at thinks you're working only one shift there, maybe only 2 shifts there, but you're working at 4 hospitals because that's the only way you can make up your bills. And there's no standardization of pay in medicine at all. It all has to do with whether or not you are lucky enough to work under a union. In my personal experience, the hospitals on the West Coast, outside of Kaiser Permanente, I've never worked at a Kaiser hospital, they are all unionized. And the unions can be a blessing and a curse. They will protect the job of the worst employee on your fucking staff forever. However, as a new graduate in Seattle, I was making $40 an hour before my night shift differential, before working NICU, before working SICU, et cetera, et cetera. Working at Johns Hopkins, you will top out at about $25 an hour, maybe, because there are no unions at all. And Johns Hopkins believes that by having their name on your resume, they've given you the gift that you deserve and you don't need a living wage. It's fucked. And then on top of that, you have to pay for your own relicensing every 5 years, your own BLS training every year and a half, your own NICU BLS, your pediatric BLS. Literally every 6 to 12 months, you have to shell out $300 to $600 and take a day off work to go sit in a classroom for 12 hours to have someone who has literally actually never coded a real person tell you how to do your job that you do every single night in the hospital. It's all just money racketing. You have to like throw money at some bureau. Every specialty has a different bureau. So for instance, mine was always the respiratory board of whatever. Every year I have to throw 300 and something bucks at them just so they don't take my license away. I still have all my education. I'm still a respiratory therapist. But if I don't throw that money at them, they'll just take it. Have they done anything for me? Do they supply literally anything? No, they do not. I still have no fucking idea how any of it is legal, but it is. And then if you work at a place like Johns Hopkins, you can't just wear the scrubs that you bought and worked at your last hospital, or maybe the ones you're wearing at a hospital that you literally work at in the same town as Johns Hopkins, because Johns Hopkins wants you to have color specific monogrammed scrubs. And scrubs are fucking expensive. So now you got to shell out a couple hundred to have 2 pairs of scrubs that you have to wash every fucking day because they have to be monogrammed or in Caribbean blue. Like, it's just at the end of the year, you look and you're like, where is all my money? I have nothing. I'm so tired. It was nauseating and it's just never stops ever. You just do that forever. It's just a cycle for the rest of your life. You just plan that X amount of your money just goes away to keep the education that can't be stolen from you. It's very odd. PSEs are good. I mean, Mountain doesn't make sense, but I've always been pro East. East Coast time is the best. Come on. Tell me how we follow recipes from hundreds of years ago about water roots, meat, some seasoning, and we get soup. Tell me soup isn't witchcraft. Soup is witchcraft. Delicious witchcraft, though. So I'm here for it if it tastes good. Anything outside of UTC is wrong. See, this is why they suck. I hate time zones. They're so stupid. East Coast time zone's the only real time zone. The rest are, thank you. False. You have to pay for all your research. Oh, 100%. Constantly. I mean, no. No hospitals will pay for them. Because if you think about it, that's very expensive for that hospital. If you have a staff of, let's say, 100 respiratory therapists, and every year they all have to get basic life support relicensing, and you have to pay that $400 per those people, and you have to give all of them a day off on top of that, they would never do that. Are you kidding? Because they don't like they know it's bullshit. They know that I fucking code people every night, and they're just making me go pay some 70-year-old woman who's a retired receptionist somewhere to teach me how to do it on a dummy. They know it, so they don't really care how you get it. They just know you have to work at their hospital. And then some hospitals, they are like all hospitals in the US at least, there's like a rating system, much like restaurants and shit like that. And if a hospital wants to be a hospital of excellence, they can hire you with a 2-year degree, like a 2-year nursing degree or something, but as soon as they hire you, they can force you to go get a bachelor's that they do not pay for. They'll just be like, "You have 6 months to start a bachelor's degree because we're a hospital of excellence, and if you don't have a bachelor's, you can't work here." That happens a lot. I'm grateful I had a few bachelors. I could be like, "No, I got one in chemistry. Please leave me alone." And they were like, "Okay." Because they don't care what it's in. They don't like none of it matters. It's just like they can write down that all their respiratory therapists have bachelor's degrees. We're special. But like we could all have bachelor's degrees in fucking communications, you know? 25 is not a living wage, not in a city like Baltimore. And not I mean, for instance, I was making and that's topped out. I'm saying that's after working there for 50 years. That's like your pension. I got hired on at like $23 an hour after all the differentials of working night shift, NICU, etc. And then my each paycheck, there was 30% taken out of my paycheck for taxes. And then you factor in the monogram scrubs and the research and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like, if I want to work in an ICU where I don't get paid extra, I just actually get to use my brain. I have to go pay to get certified in ICU, but I don't get paid anymore to do so. But they will force me to do so. Shit like that, that you're just like, we both know this is bullshit. Like, everyone's just playing pretend. You know? It's kind of like, it's like boomer baby talk. Like, we're just all gonna pretend this is all above board because we have to and we don't have another choice. But we all fucking know this is a bunch of fucking bullshit. I go through a similar situation in construction. I have several licenses to renew every year. My dad does the same. Yep, my dad's a pipe fitter, welder, kind of. He builds water treatment plants, but construction work, same shit. He bitches about it all the time. I just recently turned down a medical job because they wanted me to pay 5,000 pounds of an entry level wage, 20 to 21K, to park 2 miles away from the hospital. What? That was a paid for parking spot? No. For a 2 mile walk? Please tell me they didn't make a joke about getting your steps in, because what the fuck? Wow. Student loans too. I didn't even, I completely, I didn't even factor in the fact that on top of all that, you're also paying upwards of $1,200 a month just to scrape the principal of a student loan you pulled out for this wonderful career you're now stuck in forever. Coming from a different culture, I really wonder, shouldn't one 40-hour job be enough to pay for your bills? 100% betters. No, yes. 100%. This fact I'm about to spew is real. There is not one place in the United States of America, anywhere, that a human being can afford rent on minimum wage. And in my opinion, our government and people should feel existentially shameful on account of that. What is minimum wage if it shouldn't be the minimum to afford basic fucking housing? Minimum wage is your employer saying, "I'd pay you less if I legally could." And that is what the fuck? It is, I agree with you, and I think most people agree with you. It's just fucked up. That's what happens when you let rich people run your country. Boom! Glut literally just posted the article. The salary a single person needs to get by in every US state. To live in Hawaii, 112,000 a year. Massachusetts, 87,000 a year. California, 80,000 a year. New York, 73,000 a year. Alaska, 71,000 a year. What? That is the minimum you'd need to make to survive. Wow. That is just a wow. Feeling super stressed and tired yesterday, so I got out of class early and went to the Indianapolis Children's Museum. Dude, I love me a good science or children's museum. Fuck yeah. If you ever go to Seattle, go to the Seattle Science Center. If not for any other reason other than the fact that they have a naked mole rat farm. A fruit fly in here that's haunting me. They have a naked mole rat farm that lives in a wall like an ant farm. And if you've never seen a naked mole rat, it is an uncircumcised penis with teeth and legs. And it is fascinating. Please go. I love it. I've been going since I was born. It's the best. Oh, potential job lined up, and I'm nervous about it. It's one state from where I live, and I would need to leave school to do it, but I'd be wiring electronics for sex toys. Shut the fuck up. That's hilarious. I wonder if they'll tell you the story of the anal rail gun. Hello, Mr. Fox. How are you, love? Funniest thing, you have to get in early to get a spot, so it wasn't even guaranteed that I would get space. What the fuck? I don't understand how those certifications become part of so many industries. Most of them are 100% BS from what I've seen. My bachelor's is all I need to design computers, but the IT people still have to get 10 certs to use them. We've said the same in medicine. Everything I actually used on a daily basis in the hospital, I learned in the hospital. Like, all of the certifications and shit are just fucking FUBAR numbers. That's it. It's the stuff I do every day. It's just going and paying some H&R Block to watch me with 17 cameras take a test proving I do it every day. But would my job not fire me if I did not do my fucking job every day? Unfortunately, no. Some of them will not fire you, which is crazy. I thought Alaska paid you to live there. Yeah. No partners, no generational housing. Yeah. If you wanna see them, I can post pictures and a video. See what? What am I looking at? The dildos? I learned I make 30K more than required to live in my state. Dude, nice. I mean, that's bare minimum though, right? I would ask why people aren't just dropping dead, but it's literally what's happening. It's literally what's happening. Or people are early retiring because they're about to drop dead. Oh, you have to live there 1 year to collect the benefit? Okay, there you go. It's the same face, only with a different mask. Salary is slavery. It's how you dress it up and bring it to the turkey holiday table. Our system and the people in charge blows donkey balls. Amen. Couldn't have said it better myself. Yeah. Fuck school, get the job. 100%. Yeah. Do the least amount of school possible to get the job you want. Ladies and gents and non binary friends, first we've heard of vagina dentata, and now get ready for uncircumcised penis with teeth. Naked mole rats. They're amazing. I went to the Natural History Museum. They had a spider exhibit, and you got to go into an enclosure with spider. Oh my god, you told me about that. That is so cool. I'm surprised they allowed that with how delicate spiders are, but still very cool. When I was in Hawaii many, many, many years ago, they had those spiders that everybody freaked out about a couple years ago living in Florida or whatever. They're literally a harmless yellow garden spider orb weaver, but their legs go like this big, and they're like, those live in Hawaii, I guess. And my head hit a web of it, like walking through a trail, because super tall. I'm gonna hit everything no one else has hit before, and I straight up thought it was fishing line. Like I looked for clothes that were hanging on a fishing line because it like stopped me and didn't break. And then I saw the spider and I was like, this is the coolest thing I've ever experienced in my life. Like I thought I was in a zoo. It felt like it, but it was just a trail to a beach. It was amazing. Hold on. Welcome back, Rod. That'd be the funniest conversation if you had to tell someone what you did, dude. There's like a general rule amongst healthcare workers that if you get married or have a party and there's assigned seating, you do not put them together at the same table. You have to spread us all out because we just freak out the whole room starting to talk about stories or work or something. I'm just wondering how I'm gonna put together another 30 plus years into work at this rate. My head is gonna fall off, and I'm only in my mid-30s. Dude, I think about that. That was another big reason I started thinking about getting out of medicine. I looked at all the respiratory therapists who were in their 50s, 60s, etc., 70s, 80s, literally, because retirement isn't real and none of us can afford it. And they were all really sad, angry, miserable people. And, like, you have a lot of downtime sometimes, and so you sit around and you bullshit, and they would go on about their family and their home life, and all of them just had really tumultuous lives. all the time, and they just were always stuck at work and not able to fix anything, and I didn't see one aged RT or nurse who was super stoked about all their life choices. Like, most of them literally had DNR tattooed between their tits and were just waiting for the sweet relief of death, and I was like, "Do I want that? I don't know." And, like, they all have every knee replaced, all 7 of them. Their hips replaced, like, all these medical issues all the time, and, like, half the hospitals I work at, they now have us wear different little badges that actually measure all the radiation we're exposed to on a daily basis, because allegedly we're exposed to far too much, and we're all gonna get cancer and die, but, like, the hospital can just get away with it if they give us these little blocks to wear to measure it, and I just started thinking about, like, if I could do something else that maybe I could do till I die, because retirement I don't think is real for me, I think I'd just rather do that. Like, I've never wanted to be rolling or famous or any of that. Like, I just wanna live. Like, I just wanna be able to smoke some pot and play video games, you know? I'm a very simple creature. It's kind of the plan they raise interest rates to make it more expensive to live because workers are getting too much power. Blech. I literally got caught in a spider's web that day. I totally did. But I didn't realize it for a good 10 seconds because I had never experienced webbing that thick in my life. In the Gen V Boys spinoff, the season finale's out now. I literally just finished rewatching The Boys last night, so Gen V's my plan if I'm awake to watch it. But yeah, there was a lot of orb weavers, and they had like 3 to 4 different staff members in there at a time. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Seriously, I was just picturing like little jumping spiders everywhere and kids being like, "Haha." Have you seen the ads for retired people to come back into the workforce? Yes, and it fucking depresses me. I think I've told you guys stories about that. I would have people when I worked at Lowe's, and this was many years ago. We already had gone to the system where you had to apply for a job at Lowe's online, and the sheer amount of elderly men, like, in their late 70s, early 80s, coming in and trying to hand me a paper resume at the front desk, and I would be like, "Oh, you have to apply online," and they'd straight up say, "I don't have a fucking computer." I wanted to cry all the time. I'm way too much of an empath. Like, I just like, the world we've created is fucking broken. Super broke. They should feel so much shame in what people have to go like, what the we should be able to take a fucking you don't need to use a computer to work at Lowe's. This is the thing. What the we have they still had DOS running computers when I worked there, for fuck's sake. Ooh, have fun at BlizzCon, be safe, wear a mask, and wash your hands. You don't want this. I've heard Gen V's better than the boys. I'm kind of excited. Dude, Alexis, that'd be fucking sick. I've been on the fence with watching the boys. Is it hard to watch, like, disturbing? Um, there are some parts, but they're not graphically disturbing. It's just like, you know what happened, and that's really fucked up. But if you've read the comics or you've heard about the comics, they definitely take it down a major notch from the comics. For instance, within the first like 2 or 3 episodes, if you've read the comics, when Starlight joins the boys, they gang rape her to initiate her or whatever, haze her. In the show, one character like attempts to get a blowy inappropriately, like absolutely inappropriately, totally. But you know what I mean? They have toned it way the fuck down. It still approaches the same horrible subjects, but like not as horrifically graphic, if that makes sense. I do believe the term she uses, Rod, is face rape. He face rapes her. Yeah, we can call it what it is. I'm not going to go out here and say he got a blowy. He face raped her. Yeah, it's not near as bad. Like, there's definitely like gore. There's gore in there. There's some fucked up, like action scenes where it's some gory shit. My like meter of fuckery is so fucking skewed. I feel like I'm not a great reference on that. There is a scene where one of the characters is convinced this child can fly, and he straight up just like pushes him off the roof of a house, and the child just goes, And, like, we are all led to believe that child is now dead, and I watched it on repeat 20 times, just laughing and laughing and laughing because children screaming makes me laugh. So, you know what I'm saying? It's it's a great scene. I love that scene. It's funny. Soldier Boy is fucked. So good, though. That actor does such a fucking good job. Watching on the online already have COVID? Boo. Oh, fuck. Nuh-uh. Me too. Boo. Drink juice and be safe. I'm so sorry. The first episode is a person is pancaked and there's at least one sexual assault. Yeah. Yeah. Someone wrote that. Oh yeah. There's some scenes in there that I mean, the first season alone, if you watch it, I'd love to talk. Like there I don't want to spoil it, but the how do I put this? The deaths are inventive. You know? Like at least they put a little go get them in there. There's also a super like every character kind of has like a backstory going on, and I just love Frenchie and the female of the species, which by the way is literally a woman whose powers are being an indestructible like fucking feral bitch of I mean, she's the most badass ever. She's literally called the female of the species. Fucking badass. But I love Frenchie and the female. Like they're just so adorable. Dude, Frenchie, right? I have such a soft spot for Frenchie all the time. I love him so much. Companies autofilter out people with paper resumes too, go straight in the trash. It's fucked up. Because honestly, in my opinion, that took more effort. Soldier Boy's a good example of the differences. In the shows, he's an alpha badass who's also a massive asshole. In the comics, Soldier Boy is a massive Homelander simp pussy who gets pegged by him. And in the comics, if I remember correctly, Homelander was played way different too. In the comics, he's more like silent terror. Like he doesn't talk near as much. He's not near as like pathetic and whiny and bitchy. He's more just like a look of I'm going to kill you because I can. Whereas in the show, he's played much more just kind of like a whiny bitch who also can just kill you if he wants to, because he's the most powerful superhero or whatever. So they definitely they switched up and like I don't want to spoil it, but you know, like Noir was X in the comic and is not. Noir's just their own person in the show. Stuff like that. But it's I really enjoyed it. I enjoy Mogrins because I have never been a fan of um like I'm not I will never go out of my way to like watch Superman ever in my life or the Avengers or any of that. I just the concept of someone having extraordinary like a human being having extraordinary powers and going out of their way to sacrifice everything they ever want to do, love or anything to like save humanity, which gives no fucks about them and is just self-destructing all the time, doesn't make any sense to me and is a stupid plot point. And let's be honest, they all have magic powers and every final scene is just karate in the sky. So fuck yourself, boring. I'm over it. And the boys, it just shines more true to me what the psychology of a human in our day, in our society, who is just better than everybody else. What would really happen psychologically with them and the problems humanity has with this population of people. Because they're just people who can do X, you know? No spoilers. There's some pretty cool powers in there. But I really like that because it's not just, I mean, literally, it's not people floating and karateing. If people die, it's because someone with laser eyes disintegrated their head because they sneezed or something. And that makes me laugh. And it's just so much more realistic. It's just more realistic. Dark, but it's far more realistic than anything. Oh my God, Scott, I grabbed them. Thank you so much. I'm very excited. I made homemade chicken soup last night with my carcass. It was delicious. He's like Patrick Bateman. That's a really good example. Yeah. A mama's boy. Very much so. Yeah. The most powerful being alive who has major mommy issues. Dude. I don't. Do mommy issues even cover it without spoiling anything about Homelander's habits? I don't even know how to describe that. Homelander is a very unique. I mean, I really enjoy Homelander as a character. Like he's horrific. I'm not like, ooh, Homelander, but like he's written really fucking well. Like I am so conflicted on how to feel about him all the time. He's terrible, but he's human. And I really enjoy that these writers, I think, for the boys, I haven't watched Gen V yet, they do a really, really good job of writing the humanity into these characters. You know what I mean? Like at one point, one of the people that's the Seven, like the popular superhero group, whatever, she is secretly a lesbian, and they find out about it, and they just start to market the living, nauseating fuck out of her being a lesbian. And it's like every other scene is like Rainbow Puff cereal from Maeve, the lesbian on the Seven or whatever. It's like everything is rainbow themed with her face on it now for the next like 3 episodes. They take like real life and really insert it in, and it's just gross and great, and they do a really good job at it. I really like the boy. I've rewatched it a few times because it's just well done and well written. A lot of the boys fans also look up to Homelander, which is fucking weird. Look up to him? Okay, I did not mean that when I said I really like how he's written. No, Homelander should die. What? Oh my god, you got to finish season 2, and aren't there 3? How many seasons of the boys are there? No, there's like 6? I don't even know. I just finished it. You should watch it all. It's really phenomenal. Stormfront? Holy Nazi. There's a Nazi in the 7 at one point. Stormfront. Oh my god. What a good story. Like they really do write great. Like every season kind of has a really good spin-off story, and holy shit. Like get yourself a milkshake cuz you're going to be mad. You're going to need some comfort. Holy crap. What's her last I don't want to say her last line. She has a line. I'm trying to think of how she words it. People love everything I stand for. They just don't like the word Nazi anymore.
Oh my god, America, though.
It's actually painful, but so fucking well written. Like, holy shit. Yeah, they really, I mean, they kind of, they're scraping at what's going on in society like right now, and they like, poke at it. It's just well done. Mega morons actually think he's amazing. Like, they don't realize that they're, I don't need to say it right. Like, the show's literally making fun of those people. Barry. Oh, if you could get through Mogren's Child's Play. Child's Play. As far as I can remember, as far as I can think, Barry did far more to me emotionally than The Boys ever has. Like, I laugh the majority of the time in The Boys because they make the traumatic things kind of comical. Like, they're kind of fucking like the kid, fucking great. Stormfront was the name of an alt-right news site. No news site. I wonder if that's where they got it. Interesting villain, terrible person. Thank you. Yeah, it's hard to say like, oh, I love that character because they are terrible people. I just love how they're written because they're written really well. They write them flawed, human. Wow, I didn't know that. That's fucked up. They're watching the show and not getting it. They're really missing the point. Yep. Yeah. Wow. Those are some major points to miss, though. Like, there's an entire season making fun of Proud Boys in terms of fans of Homelander.
Satan has a very special pineapple for your asshole.
Oh, Barry's phenomenal. Yeah, but like and not even taking into like the emotional, like you feel bad for Barry, you feel bad, et cetera, like the crying points. Just thinking on like the gore of Barry and some of the kills in Barry. If you got through Barry, Child's Play, literally. The Boys does nothing. I mean, if anything, they do some like extraneous gore, like cutting someone in half and intestines dangling, whatever. It's still really good though. Raving Visionary, thank you so much for subbing to the class, keeping the class alive and giving any swings for 10 fucking months. The sun went away.
Hail Lilith.
When Storefront was introduced to the show, the Megamorons lost their shit because they figured out that they were being portrayed as the bad guys. Oh my god, that's what it took? I give people too much credit. I really do. I just give them too much, I think. Morning, Hashish. How are you, love? I think somebody hinted to me that The Boys was like just sexual assault stuff constantly. So thanks for clearing that up. 100%. I mean, there is. I'm trying to think. Is there sexual assault the whole time? Like, absolutely in first season with Starlight. Trying to think. Like, they definitely reference it, but I don't I think the first season, yeah, and then after that, though, I think they kinda lay off it. They talk about it, and, like, it is existential, like, Starlight definitely brings up being face raped by X person. Like, it's not something that anyone lets go or forgives or anything, like, they're bringing it up and talking about it, but I don't rem I mean, I haven't watched the first season a bit, and I did watch it while I was at Burning Man, maybe or maybe not rolling in my car, so I don't remember it all the way, but I don't remember there being more than the Starlight stuff, but there could be. No, it is definitely I mean, sex is definitely, like, a high theme. There is a character who may or may not make love to some crustaceans at a certain point, and wow. Did you ever watch Gossip Girl? One of the main dudes in Gossip Girl is one of the main dudes in The Seven, and if you grew up on Gossip Girl, whoa, whew, tides they be turned. Wow. Yeah, there's it's sexual, but I don't remember like them visually showing anything like that. But like they definitely profit off of Maeve not coming out, but being exploited as a lesbian, stuff like that. I haven't watched Gen V, no spoilers. I know nothing about Gen V. I cannot speak to it. The Boys is just like, what would the world be if all superheroes were amoral shitheads? Which, I mean, show me a person with power who's not. I found an amazing sentence that you and I can relate to. Wait, I don't like things. I rotate them in my brain like a rotisserie chicken for months until my skull catches fire. I'm out of coffee. It's just the morning. Ouch. That is real. Ouch. Is Twitch mobile being fucked up? Boo. It's because they're trying to get us to do those stories and shit. Ooh, yum. I love scrambled eggs. I didn't really watch I didn't wasn't the Watchmen show canceled? I feel like I watched part of the first season, then it was canceled and I didn't want to invest any more time in it. Someone fucked Mr. Krabs. Oh god. Is there an octopus in that show? It's more like someone fucked my octopus teacher or my octopus teacher fucked me. Uh, there is well, Herogasm. I don't know what else to say about that. But I don't think there was this like assault. It's just like I think I might have talked about the scene on stream really recently, actually. Like a man can get really, really tiny or really, really big. That's his superhero ability. And he gets like this big and he like and then goes shit like that. Trying not to spoil, but I also don't want you to go into it if shit like that would get you. But honestly, the Barry was far more disturbing to me than anything in The Boys. So I think you're okay. Tides, is that a sea creature pun? Maybe. Banshee? Where was that? The splooge guy, or what was Love Sausage? Was that his name? Fuck, what did they name the guy with the prehensile dick? Good morning, LZT. How's studying going? Flipper. Kirgasm is consensual, right? That's what I thought. I couldn't remember it because I think I fell asleep during that episode, but I've seen it a bunch of times and I couldn't remember it. I couldn't remember anything terrible, but Herogasm, it's basically like a party that happens every year where all the heroes get together and just like debauchery, and you get to watch that. That's pretty fun. Love Sausage, was that what it was? Love Sausage? I think that's what it was. Poorly? Ugh, good luck. That's when my business partner, best friend, stopped watching the show. I was like, dude, you're totally missing out. Dude, that's the best. The show has its ups and downs, just like any show. But I would invest in The Boys if you like stuff like that. It's just a more realistic, it's a better, it's just what would actually happen if people were superheroes, in my opinion. Najee, is that the one I tried to download earlier? I tried to download it and it did nothing. But I need to run it. I did a driver backup last night. I'm gonna do like a driver cleanup tonight and see why my computer's being a douche because the flickering is very nerve wracking. The boys always sounded interesting to me, but I was like, I don't know what the hell I'm getting into here. I got you. I got you. That's something I feel. I feel sexual assault is something that sticks out in my mind pretty hard when it's done horrifically realistic in a show, and I would let you know. Like it's there, but it's not near as bad as the comic and not near as bad as half the shit out there today, let's be real. Like for me, for instance, I have never watched past the rape scene in Sons of Anarchy with Kate Siegel or whatever the fuck her name is. That scene happened, show was dead to me. I could not watch anymore. It was too real, it was too visceral. Been there, done that. Don't want to live it again. Couldn't get there. Nothing like that in The Boys. Like I've gotten through The Boys multiple times and it's nothing like that. If that makes sense. A misfire. Good old Ant-Man can get real small, crawl into Thanos' butt, then grow big to make him explode. Can you imagine? I think I've seen worse stuff in some like really low budget fucking horror movies and shit too. Same. Yeah, I've seen worse stuff on USA. The animated Invincible is another good dark take on supers, and we get the second season in animated Invincible. What kind of animation? I have a hair on my nose. I do too, and the sad thing is that like, man, this is a real moment that literally happened one night. So this was maybe a year ish ago, and I can't remember. Actually, I think we were watching The Fucking Boys, which is hilarious. But Zach and I were watching something, a movie, a show, whatever. And it was Doom Patrol. Doom Patrol, which is another really good, cool superhero kind of like dark spin-off kind of show, which is dope if you like that kind of thing. We were watching Doom Patrol and there's a character named Jane who suffers from what is it? BPD? Not bipolar disorder, it's help. Not BPD. DID, dissociative identity disorder. Dissociative identity disorder, where trauma causes your personality to split into a safe person, two different people to protect you, kind of thing. There's a character in there that something horrible happens to her as a child that causes her to split into hundreds of people in her head, but she's also a superhero, and every single person in her head has a unique power, and they can all come to the top and express said power. Jane is a badass. That's all I have to say. Jane is everything. But when you learn what happens to her as a child, she's like it's pretty apparent. And we were watching it, and Zach like gets exasperated, pauses the show, and just looks at me and goes, I'm just tired of every time a girl has to be special or something has to happen to her, it's always sexual assault. And I looked at him and said, or maybe it's because every woman has been fucking sexually assaulted. And his jaw dropped, and he literally had to sit in silence for a few minutes because, as a penis person, he had literally never conceptualized that. Ever. But, like, I don't know a female presenting human being who has not been assaulted in one way or another. And that's fucking sad. It's not entertainment. I agree. And I don't understand or stand by showing it in a like I don't understand why you have to graphically show us being someone being sexually assaulted. Yes, it is a true story. Yes, that can cause trauma in someone's life. And telling your story or something like that, incorporating it into someone, and they don't. If you haven't watched Doom Squad or Doom Patrol, by the way, that you don't see it. They would never like no, it's just heavily implied and you know what happened. Just a big old warning on that one. You're not going to watch a child be assaulted because amen on that. That's just, I mean, that's disgusting. Genuine woke moment, and it was awesome. I've had moments like that in my life where I literally just have never put myself in that place before ever in my life, and my jaw just has to sit there and hang for a minute, and I'm like, "Holy fuck." But man, sometimes you just need someone to look you in the eye and say, like, "Or maybe we're all fucking assaulted." And it fucking sucks when that happens, though. Dude, right, I love Doom Patrol. I do believe the Asshat's canceled the show after the last few episodes of the past season. I do too, and it makes me sad because it's really good. Doom Patrol is also wait, hold on. My chat. Short conversation that everyone should have heard. It wasn't even it was just like I wasn't trying to be a bitch about it or anything, but like chances are really high that the female presenting human being you are near has probably been assaulted. Probably. Thank you for resuming the class, keeping the class alive, and giving any swings, by the way, boo. I'll try to load it, Robo. I still got I don't know what it is. It's only while I'm streaming, which leads me to believe it's something to do with OBS, but my browser keeps doing this like flickering and then I see my fucking desktop behind it. I don't know what's going on. It's a nightmare. It's because men think their penises are so important that women can't have an origin story that does not involve a penis. It's pretty well, or that it changed us somehow. Every single woman I've ever met eventually tells me they were, which is so sad. But also, kudos for you for being someone that people feel comfortable enough talking about that. And like, how do I say this? If I was to divulge something like that to someone, the only thing that would ever do that is if I felt that that person would not look at me differently after said story. That says a lot about your personality. Like, seriously, cheers to that. There's not a lot of people in this world that I would be like, they won't think of me different after that fact. Even someone who may know you really, really fucking well, it's like they can't, a lot of people that just haven't really gone through something like that in their life, they cannot get past looking at you differently once they know something like that about you. You know what I mean? It adds empathetical attachment and also, like, no, it's not entertainment, but for me, again, you can't generalize personal experience, but for me personally, as someone who has been barred, aid, assaulted, all the fun things as a child, it makes the trauma in the show relatable and more realistic to me because I relate with that. And when it's super, super prevalent, I feel, maybe a lot of people might look at that and see someone who's strong, survived, got out of that situation. Like she does. She does like overcome this kind of stuff. As an adult, Jane, the character, she's a really badass character. But watching someone metabolize childhood trauma as an adult when they finally have maybe some tools to do it and a support group around them to help them on their way through that is extremely relatable. And that's just me. I couldn't generalize that. But I mean, if they're doing it, it's got to be more than just me, right? I had men shocked to find out that most women turn their car keys into a weapon when approaching their car. Do people not do that? The only reason I have keys that aren't my car key on my keychain is because my car key now is hidden in a little box. My Jeep thing is just a fob, and you have to get an extra button to get that key to flip out of it. The only reason I have all these other keys on there is to make my hand into Wolverine hand. Duh. I don't need my grandmother's house keys. She's dead. But I will stab someone with it if they try to touch me. Maybe not all men, but all women. Yeah. It's a horrible saying, but it's real. I've had men shocked to find out that most women turn their. Yeah. I mean, it works. Probably. Only haunted when streaming all the time. I'm haunted all the time. Do you think maybe they keep reusing sexual assault as a traumatic backstory because it happens all the time? Fucking mind bomb. My brain knew it happened a lot, but I never put that together with why it's so commonplace with plot lines of media. I mean, I never thought about it being like out of the ordinary commonplace in media because I seriously like don't know an adult female who wasn't assaulted in some way, shape, or form in their younger years. Like it's disgusting. But I don't think it needs to be used in plots to like help someone grow as a person. That bothers me. Like I feel like what did they do? It was in oh god, it was in Game of Thrones. It was like in order for Sansa to become anything but a whiny piece of shit, she had to get raped and suddenly strength. At least in my experience, not how it works. That was bad writing, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, therapy's the best. I always just ask people who tell me stuff like that if they would like to change how we interact, just how my brain works. See, you're a nice, empathetic human. I remember talking about this at work one day, and so many girls came forward with their stories, and I just can't wrap my head around it, the idea that this is seemingly a core part of the female experience. What Viata said, maybe not all men, but all women. It's gross. It is very fucking sad. Like, I don't know as a human being how, I don't even want to say it because I know a lot of you have children, but like if I had a daughter, just statistically speaking, I would look at her tiny little baby self and be like, you, statistically speaking, someone's going to touch you without your permission one day. I'm going to jail for murder. Dude, I love that. I use that emote so much. Like, if you ever throw that out of rotation, Zeke, I'm stealing it. It's so good. No, it's so good. Trauma as a character origin can be done well and done poorly. It's so obvious when it's not written. Yeah. It's also used as a plot device to say, look how edgy of a show we are. We're rated R. Yes. Fuck that shit. Yes. Mogren's right. She was it just, that is just no. No. Most men don't have to worry about getting jumped much. I don't, unless I'm in a sketch place. Like, all of my brothers, I feel like, had almost equally tumultuous childhoods to me, but just in a different flavor. Because I remember my older brothers, like, we were poor. We didn't live in amazing places. And my brothers did get jumped regularly. Like, all of my brothers have been to prison before the age of 18, like, just defending their own life in the street or something of fucking Snohomish, Washington, which is, but I feel like it's just a different flavor. And I don't know. It's just a different level of, like, some sort of mental tumult that they went through that affects them to this day. Quantum. I'm okay. I have cellulitis in my right leg. Fuck, dude, I got COVID. I'm so sorry. We're all dying. It's happening. Recently, I was assaulted as a child. I was also assaulted by both of the first two adult relationships I was in. People suck. At least you see it, which is sad. I mean, sad. It's sad that it happened, but you know what I mean. Some people never, ever, ever see that it happened to them, and that is even more scary to me. Oh my god, Popbot, have you heard? Oh god, what's his name? Joel Kim Booster. He's a comedian. He does stand up. I believe it's his most recent stand up over on Netflix. There is a line in it that just kills me. He kind of is like a storyteller comedian, and he tells this one where he's like, I love to walk up to new couples, like new married couples, and be like, oh my God, you guys are like so cute together. Are you thinking of having kids? And when they inevitably say yes, I get real close to their face and be like, oh my God, so you don't believe in climate change? How's that going for you? And I think of that a lot. No shit, Fox. This time I feel about my little sister. She's currently 5. My mom has never had a daughter. I remind my mom constantly that she can't treat her the same way she did us because we were all guys. Yeah, I had 3 older brothers. I feel that. Now we just act like boys. It's fine. I don't have to worry about getting jumped, but yeah, but does my brain know that? No. I remember reading or watching a video about a show, can't remember what, but the director got a lot of flack for portraying rape in a very unsexy, gory, disgusting manner. He clapped back with something like, why should I sexualize one of the most traumatic things to happen to a woman? It's my job to tell a story, not to write porn.
Amen. Hallelujah. Jesus Christ.
Imagine trying to make a rape scene beautiful. Oh my god, I don't want to say that word anymore because it makes my mouth uncomfortable. But what the fuck? What the fuck? What up, Beatree? How are you, love? Cheers. I gotta pee and I need to go get coffee because I need a hot beverage because my throat is so fucking tired. So let's take our first break of the day, yeah? Clean your bongs, load a bowl. Cheers. Pee. Stretch your legs. All the things. Chapstick. All the things. I mean, right? Every parent's going to do the best they possibly can. And I think as parents out there, you all know very well there is absolutely no fucking feasible way you can prevent every horrible thing that could potentially happen to your child from happening to your child. At one point, they are independent creatures who go off and experience. And that's what makes you grow as a human. Like if you put them in a ball and bathe them in hand sanitizer, you get Eric Trump. Like, no, we don't need more of those. Unless you're going to keep them in the hamster ball, in which case, hilarious, do it. But you know what I'm saying? Like, experience is what makes us human and makes us interesting, but also sucks sometimes. But if moments didn't suck, then we wouldn't know when moments didn't suck. I don't fucking oh, heck. I had to heat up coffee. I wish I could taste it. That would be fucking great. Yeah, that was Ghost, dude. That song, there's a great live cover of Goulet where he just plays a kazoo the whole time. I have a kazoo somewhere. I found it recently and then lost it again, but I used to kazoo to that a lot. It's funny, kind of. Man, I could not. I tried so hard to watch The Magicians. The two main people they cast to play the main characters are so annoying, just in every fucking way. I just wanted them to die all the time. Alice and the emo fucker, man, just couldn't do it. I tried. The book was good. The books are good. But man, those people just gotta learn to stop watching. I hate him. I hate Quentin and I hate Alice. Her voice makes me want to claw my ears out or stuff them with something or put a pencil in my head. I just fucking cannot stand her. And I tried because the books are really good. If you like, same. I'm so glad I'm not the only one, Viata, because so many people fucking loved that show. And I was like, read the book. Read the book. The books are really good. But man, oh my god. Mm. I know the exact character you're talking about, Glut. So fucking annoying. They're just, and I think I'm too old to buy into sad teenagers who think that grades are the end of their life. I just can't do it anymore. Same reason I couldn't really get into Wednesday. I liked it though. Liked it better than The Magicians at least, but I couldn't get into it. And I think I've just hit that age where I'm like, I can't. I can't. It's just so fucking dumb now. Like, ugh. I'm so glad I'm not the only one. Sucks when a show's kind of ruined by weird casting choices. I felt that way about The Golden Compass. Same. I talk about those books way too often, Mogrins. I love that series. His Immortal Instruments or whatever, is that the series of books? It's like the compass, the something, and the something. Those were some of my favorite books. I fucking loved those books when I was a kid. I still love them. They were so well written. The whole concept of like the daemons, your soul on the outside of your body, like, oh my god, such a cool world. And they did that horrible movie, and then they did the series, and the series was okay, but the casting just I feel that way about voice acting sometimes, and I'm not ripping because I have no talent. Like I couldn't voice act, but I watched two things recently where the some of the lead voice acting you could tell was a cast because that person was famous, and it was I watched oh god what was it one of the Minions movies and Sandra Bullock. I think it's literally Minions, and Sandra Bullock voices like the main bad chick, Scarlet something. Like, I love Sandy B. Big fucking fan. Bitch gotta lay off. Like, that is not her area. It was so lackluster. Like she's definitely a physical actress or something because the voice acting was just terrible. And then we watched the new Mario movie, which was really good, but they cast Peach. Peach was Anna Taylor-Joy, who I do like as an actress, but as a voice actress, it felt like she was recording it in bed with her phone. I don't know. Like I don't like to be a bitch, but like do they know there's voice actors out there who do this for a living really well? You didn't need to put in Anna Taylor-Joy to get us to watch a Mario movie, I guess. It just like was very not good. I don't know. I love that Friends until they basically rewrote them to morons. They yeah. Yes. Yep. It started good. I think that's why I got into it. Yep, Wednesday was beautifully shot, and I like the chick that played Wednesday, but the whole, there's two boys that really love her. Again, it's just the downfall of Bungie and possibly Destiny. Sucks for them. I just hit season 3 after struggling through 2, and it's slightly better. Elliot's my boo thing though. Which one's Elliot? Is Elliot the one with the hands? Because I think he's the only character I liked. Always felt weird to me when they get actors to do voice acting and all. It is like Jack Black did phenomenal. Like it can be done, but I just those like Sandy B, that was bad. Sandy B should not be fucking voice acting. And Anna Taylor-Joy, so it wasn't bad. It was just very. I could give a fuck less about Peach because there was just nothing there, you know. Queen's Gambit's amazing, right? Or if you've ever seen Split, she's phenomenal. She's a really good actress. I very much enjoy her. She's got a very interesting face, fun to watch, but voice acting just not there. Jack Black was everything in that movie. Agreed. That or the Little Blue Star.
Ah, the sweet release of death.
Tall, dark-haired bi guy, not the guy with the hands. Tall, dark. Why can't? Oh, Elliot! Oh my God! How did I forget Elliot? And then his beard. What's her name? She's pretty insufferable, but Elliot, I pity. I liked Elliot. I felt bad for him. Like he wasn't a great human being to start out with, but he just gets scheized. Yeah, I remember him now. It's been a while. Yeah, I love them until like season 2. Yeah, they wrote him as fucking idiots. Netflix have stated after season they aren't going to pursue love interest in Wednesday anymore because it wasn't received well. Good. On the topic of things I don't think should be used, like I don't care about used in entertainment, extended wet sounding kissing scenes in movies, like sex scenes. I just feel so my butthole gets so tight. I cringe. Every morsel of my human form cringes so hard because I just don't. If I want to watch porn, I'm going to go find porn. This didn't need to be in a movie. It's not character building. Why the fuck are you making me listen to these wet sounds? I hate it. I don't understand it. Why? No one wants it. Margot, yes. She was a funny bitch until she became queen. Like, when she was just his beard, she was hilarious. And then she became insufferable. Yeah. I'm so glad we talked about this. I'm glad I'm not the only one. Better I mean, okay, the werewolves, sure. The stoners? Who did this? Who came? What? That still. What? And I liked Wednesday. I've watched it twice. It's a good show. But, like, what? What's the best place to have a coffee shop? On the ground floor, God damn it. It didn't feel Addams Family. Oh my God, you hit it on the fucking nail, Bezabelli. That's it. Wednesday wasn't bad, but it didn't feel Addams Family at all. Yeah. Nope, you're 100% correct. It just didn't. I actually, David, I listened to someone talk about that recently. That allegedly Gen Z, whatever the fuck that means, the new generation would like less romance in shows. I think we all I'm a millennial and I feel that. I've never been like, "Ooh, I like this movie because of that really extended kissing scene that I listened to." That's my bathroom break. Like if I start hearing that weird wet mouth or a dry, what's even worse is a dry kisser. Oh my God. I just don't want to hear it. I don't understand it. I hate Alice. I hate Alice. The actress. It's just so insufferable to me. I just can't take it. It could have literally been any franchise. Exactly. You literally hit it on the nail. That's it. Yeah. Wednesday's more based on a single panel Addams Family comics that was made by the original creator of the Addams Family. Is it really? I didn't know that. I really hate being considered Gen Z. I mean, let's be real. Could any of us go out right now and just like pinpoint generation out of somebody? I don't think so. People look all the same anymore. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like I feel like it's all just kind of some foobar to get us to hate each other for reasons that don't exist. You know? I sure love romance. I just love hearing song after song, movie after movie about love. Mm-mm. I'm done. I'm good. I mean, there's a time and a place. If you've ever seen the movie, oh God, what is it called? It's got Timothy Chalamet in it. Shamalamding. What the fuck is it? Call Me by Your Name. That is a perfect example of romance done right. Heartbreaking movie. Oh my God, it will tear your soul out of your body and leave it on the floor and be stomped on by gremlins and whatnot, and then thrown into a trash compactor. But wow, really well done. But it's like that's the core. Like, it's literally about a gay relationship when that wasn't legal or acceptable, et cetera, et cetera. Like, that is the core, like, story, and it's beautifully told. I think romance in shows is just kind of shitty most of the time. Unrealistic, driven by conflict and communication issues that are fixed by sex, 100%. Or it's like that person has to save you. Like, you're always saved by the relationship, or like that person doesn't have any strength unless they have a relationship or something like that. Like, I don't, I, I'm pretty sure all of us, the majority of us here, have been in a relationship and been single. Like, shit sucks regardless of who you're fucking. And you're still going through shit alone. Like, in here, you know? Oh my god, T, I went and saw the kinky, like, the sex-themed Cirque du Soleil show with my mother in Vegas. That was fun. He was tolerable until the Alice, you're so smart. You need to be dumber for me. Yes, and then she like, her voice became what? Dumb. Complaint for BG3 too. How come I can romance you, but we can't declare besties? Yeah. Because let's be real, a fucking tight ass friendship bond between two people is, oh my god, you're gonna love The Boys. Is way more interesting. That is way more interesting. There are two characters, I was talking about them earlier, Frenchie and the female of the species. Like, they kind of like, you kind of sense some relationship tension, but they definitely make it clear. And in the comics, it's the same. They are just like die for each other, best friends, and it's a female and a male, like, allegedly straight, and they don't have to fuck to be an awesome duo, and it's just like really well done. I want to slap her like, bitch. They keep saying how powerful you are. Stop, dude. Right? You're such a fucking wet noodle until you're evil for some reason. Quentin never felt like the main character, but it feels like they keep trying to push for him to be, and I'm like, God, it's never gonna happen. You're not gonna make fetch a thing. This one, Knives, this one was a bit ago, and he does it's a really good book. If you like, if you want to read the book instead, if you're like averse to Timmy, I really can't even think of another thing he's in besides Dune. I know nothing about this kid, but that movie is wow. Call Me by Your Name fucking rips your soul out. It's just so well told. I try to assimilate into the millennial generation, even though I'll never be one. I think I'm dead center millennials, I think. But honestly, like, they define millennials as people who grew up with cell phones, and I didn't have a cell phone until I was 16 years old, and it was a Nokia brick. I didn't grow up with a computer. I didn't grow up with technology. I didn't have TV till I was 12. So I've never felt I identify with that in any way, shape, or form. But I don't know a lot of people my age who did. Like, if you had a computer when we were little, you were rich, or your dad worked for Microsoft and got leftovers. Like, that shit was expensive. It wasn't necessarily an age thing. It was just like, are you wealthy? Shit doesn't disappear because you have a partner. 100% no. And it doesn't become easier. If anything, it becomes harder because you don't want to burden your partner and all they want to do is help you. Yes, I did, Nagio. Fucking heart-wrenchingly sad. A new Walmart ad? Do I want to? Yeah, I believe it's Call Me by Your Name. It's like it's their code. It's like I said, it's basically a gay relationship like in the I want to say it's like the 30s, like 1930s or something, and their code between each other is to call each other by their name. Like, that's I love you essentially. It's one of those. It's just like it's phenomenal that that was the a world not that long ago, and it's still like horrible. Like, we're doing better, but holy shit. That's what's great about the D&D movie. We quickly became brother and sister. I love the D&D movie. Jonathan! Every time. There's a really good movie I was just reminded of, Brief Interviews with Hideous Men. I think it's based on a book, but it's pretty amazing. What's it? A Brief Interviews with Hideous Men. That sounds really familiar. No shit. I mean, you got to be in the mood because it is like it's a very quiet. It's one of those quiet movies. There's not a lot of dialogue. It's a lot of just exposition and like beautiful cinematic shots. I believe it's takes place in Italy in like the 30s, 20s ish. So it's one of those you got to be in the mood for it, but it's I mean, I was shocked. I didn't think it would hit me as hard as it did, and it was a good one. And the book is worse. Oh my god. This is the Walmart ad? Okay, hold on. Let me see if it'll load. I thought you were gonna link loot that body. What the fuck? Wait, this is the wait, which one's the Walmart commercial? Everything's auto-playing at the same time. I see a possum. There's the Walmart. I hate that I'm giving Walmart ad a view, but here we go. Walmart Black Friday deals. Jingle Bell Rockin'. Should I be scared? Hello, little sister. Good morning. How are you? We're about to watch an alleged funny commercial. I'm nervous. Hold on. Where's my music? Pause. I'm nervous. No. I've got a narrow. No. I gotta hold.
In the bed?
No.
Yeah, we
No. I had a Mean Girls on here.
turn it off with.
No. Penetrate. No. I did have a Mean Girls sound alert. The one where she says, "It's not my fault that I have a heavy flow and a wide set vagina. It's gone now." Oh my god. I mean, it was cool seeing all the actresses back. Like, all the actors, I should say. Like, literally so many people from the original movie. Ow. That, I mean, if we look into the fucking, the capitalism of that, they are targeting the correct age group for Christmas, which is me, if you have kids. Because you'd be like, "Oh my god, nostalgia!" Ouch. I hate Walmart. We grew up with a really nice Walmart, but Walmart is a bad. I don't know how to process that. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Najee, this is fucking funny though. Just take this in for a minute. It's a picture of two skeletons doing something. Uncooked macaroni noises. That's fantastic. It's so visceral. I can hear the clinkings. That's fantastic. Thank you for that. A couple of the shit loaded. I'm just trying to. What the fuck is the? Hold on. It's just the short. I have a thing. Chucky freaks me out. Dolls freak me out. Her hair is literally gorgeous, though. Regular prescribed fires also work to eliminate ticks since they can't outrun and hide from the fire. You know, I heard some states tried to make that illegal, like pre-burning, and then they just ended up having like existentially terrible fucking fires because they'd never pre-burned anything. Like California, I think, did it. And it's like pre-burning goes back to like the Native Americans before white people ever fucked shit up. Like Native Americans knew to do these controlled burns. A lot of people came home with it, really. I only know one other person who tested positive, thank fuck. God, it's just, this shit sucks. They are nature's little Roomba. They're pretty fucking adorable. You can literally, there are people who specialize in breeding unique species of cockroaches, and they have websites dedicated to them. There are some really, really cool cockroaches out there. I'm trying to think. I actually had a species for a while, that the backs of their head carapace had a jack-o'-lantern on it. That's just what the species looks like, and I can't remember what they were called. Death's mask roaches or something like that. There's banana cockroaches, which are neon green and very beautiful. Like, there are so many different types of cockroaches that are stunning. There's one that's called like the Spartan or something like that, and it's red with a white spot in the middle of it. They're just gorgeous. Bugs are fascinating. Halloween hissers, is that the ones I'm thinking of that had the little jack-o'-lantern? I had a colony ages ago, but they unfortunately died. Yeah, that's why I have the colony. You might be able to see them every once in a while, but if you ever see any of these little shiny things, these are all the babies. And then that big shiny black thing right there is the big male. There's a couple in there though. And the way that hissing cockroaches like establish their hierarchy is the males get as high as they possibly can. Like sometimes they'll be on the top of the screen, and the higher you are in the environment, the like higher up in the food chain you are, and then the females stay under the logs and hide. But the males always have to be on something, and that's one of them. They're precious, harmless little creatures. I don't know. I dig them. I think I got them on accident one time and was just like, oh, now I have hissers. It's a hierarchy. It literally is hierarchy. Yeah, like there isn't one on the top right now, but usually there's one huge male on the top, and he just wanders along the screen all day, and I assume he's the father of everything. Oh, the dog TikTok. Hold on, let me see if it'll load. Thank you, Lizzie. I think humans are just jealous cockroaches will out survive them 100%. I like it's kind of a weird phenomena that humans as a whole, like we've all kind of convinced ourselves that we're like super clean and super, above it all. We are filth. Filth. Rats. New York rats are cleaner than you, and I'd put money on it. We are fucking filth. I guarantee my cockroaches are cleaner than any one of us. You have so many spiders living in your eyelashes all day. They have to be there to eat all the dead skin falling off of you. If you didn't have them, you would go blind. Cockroaches don't need that, so therefore do not have millions of spiders all over their eyes. We are filth. But we love to look at other shit and be like, ew, dirty. High or high? High? They are quite I mean, they're if you think about it seriously, cockroaches are they're perfect. They're a perfect design. They have not changed biologically speaking since like what the prehistoric age, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. And there's a reason. They're a powerhouse of evolution. They don't need to change. They're perfect. They can literally live through everything. Can't say that about a mammal. Yeah, why? Same with spiders, tarantulas. I talk about that a lot because I got a lot of tarantulas. But tarantulas, same. Spiders, arachnids, for the most part, have not biologically changed since the prehistoric period. They don't have to. They're perfect. Can't say that about a fucking, you know, mammal, literally of any kind. Cockroaches literally have the high ground all the time. Cheers to you, little buddies. I actually think I have a couple cockroaches in there that aren't they're not Madagascar hissers. I think they're called like black Madagascar hissers or something. They're literally jet black. They look a little bit different, but I'm not sure. They do. Okay, Tommy Doodle says most states at this point have some sort of prescribed fire regime. Cultural burning was practiced all across North America. Colonialism alienated North American landscapes from the indigenous people. Cultures and land management techniques then created the different ecosystems. Pretty much all of NA burned regularly. Now it doesn't, so biodiversity has declined everywhere. Boom. That's way smarter thing that I had read a long ass time ago. I was trying to quote. Hi Mel, how are you, love? Preschoolers are I mean, right? If you have kids, you understand how dirty people are. Dude, literally, cockroaches, they're like a crocodile. Yeah, they fuck or a whales. They figured it out. The only thing that will kill a cockroach is humans. I'm bugs PR. Honestly, I will be the PR for insects until I die. Yeah, human bites are the worst thing in the entire world. If we find bite marks on you in the ER, I am immediately asking you if it's a person because that's the one I'm worried about. Like most other bites in the world, I'm not really gonna freak out about, but yeah, I will that one. People are gross. A lot of it comes from not having to generate their own heat. Ooh, probably, yeah. They were perfect. Climate change is changing all that, and I can read. We're also losing species because they've introduced so many non-native species everywhere. Yeah, I bitch about that a lot, Megan. Where I grew up, Eastern Washington, they did that with wolves. Like, this is what we were told. Like, the elk population got out of control because people poached all the local wolves in Washington and Idaho and like parts of Montana, I think. And so humans' bright idea was to bring down Canadian timber wolves and introduce them to the landscape so they would take care of the elk. And now we just have too many elk and too many deer and too many wolves, and the wolves love to move into backyards of people and just kill their dogs because they don't kill to eat, they kill just for killing. It's just people gotta stop. We aren't God. We must stop. We are not that cool. No shit. I'm the second streamer you know who has pet cockroaches. A guy I follow for game dev keeps a colony for waste disposal. I literally was just saying their garbage disposal. I was like all my scraps from food and shit that aren't meat or whatever, that's where they go. And they decimate them. Yeah. I actually have 2 colonies. This is one of them right here, but these are my feeder cockroaches. These ones get fed to my spiders. Hissers, I just like them. They look and feel far too much like an animal for me to feed them to anything. Like, they're so big. I could pull one out. They're bigger than my fingers. The adults are very large. The males are huge. Oh my god, McTaggart. First off, thank you for your service. As one of those people who has a perpetually fucked up back, if it wasn't for massage therapists, I don't know if I would be here. Like, I was literally I was at a point where I could only stream like 3 days a week because my neck and shoulder were so fucking frozen. My massage therapist did magic. And she did this. And it was like I literally broke out in the most dramatic cold sweat of my life when that muscle released. Y'all are gods, but also, holy shit, I'm so sorry. I take the most crazy exfoliating bath the night before I get a massage because I'm so conscious of that. Centipedes can get fucked. Yes, millipedes are cute. Centipedes, like, one of the most painful, the most painful bite allegedly in the world is a centipede. The Thailand centipede or something. I think it's like deadly. I think it kills you. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's some sort of nerve thing and it fucking kills you. And the chelicerae are just too, wow. They are something else. They can fuck themselves. I mean, they deserve to live. I'm not going to go out there and go after them, but like, I don't want nothing to do with them. Millipedes are cute though. Millipedes are okay. They're basically cockroaches with more legs. They have the same little radula scoop mouth and they just like scrape mold and shit off stuff and eat it. We have some really nice wolf spiders around the house. I got such a good picture of one in my house the other day. I can actually see him right now. He's been living in my house for like a week. But it's a boy, so I know he's gonna die. He's got big old balls. But I posted it on Twitter because he was stuck in my sink. And it was one of the days that the COVID was real bad. And I rescued him out of my sink and put him in my windowsill, and it was big. I took a really cool picture. It was really good picture. Amazing what phones can do these days, but big old fucker. SoCal's full of invasive insects and plants now. We have mosquitoes now, and we never did before. Do you think that's because it's a coastal state and it's so fucking international? Like, not that that's anybody's fault, but like, when you just have constant international in and out, like, I feel like it's inevitable. The Peck major release, literally, I'm not like exaggerating when I say my entire body started pooling in cold sweat. It was a nerve release. It was phenomenal. And she just laughed. And my arm was dangling off the side of the table. I was on on my stomach and I felt it start dripping off my hand, my whole body. Like, I had no idea how tense I was holding myself because just of this tightness that was happening. It was crazy. Like, fuck chiropractors. Go to a massage therapist. They know what the fuck to do. Oh my god. Human centipede. I'd take that over a real one. We grew up with choruses of birdsong in the morning. Now the birds scream their horniness to fewer fellow birds. Isn't that sad? I always feel tired after therapy. Uh-huh. Even if I barely talk, I feel fucking tired. Not me making sure I'm well trimmed and clean before surgery because it's just nice to clean up before having company. Agreed. Agreed. I mean, I think it's if another human has to get up in your shit, like if you're gonna go get your hair done, so don't you take a shower? You don't go in with a 3-day-old chicken greased scalp. And if you do, how could you? It's just like decency. Take into consideration that other human being and the fact that they probably really appreciate a nice clean scalp. The mouth of the centipede is with it. Yes, they're called chelicerae. Have you ever watched a scorpion eat up close? Honestly, it's worse for me. Scorpions are like I'm so used to spiders who, like, they paralyze their prey and their prey is pretty much dead by the time they start just drinking it. Scorpion just will grab a cricket and just start to eat its face. If they don't need to sting it, they won't. They'll just start to eat its face, and the cricket's like going bonkers. It's just, and it's like a fucking like a pulp mill, you know? Oh, I love spiders too. I think they're cool. I wish I could vibe with spiders, but I was chased by a camel. Camel spiders are different. That's something so fucking different. Camel spiders are way more like a scorpion than a spider. They don't envenomate. They literally will just start to masticate their prey alive, which is why their bite is so horrific. They don't envenomate. They don't like a spider. They are such a fucking different ball game. I would rather die than even survive an experience with a camel spider because I can't afford that therapy. I'm on your side, and I have 50 tarantulas behind me. Get it. There's a few arachnids, sulfids, whatever that family is of purse web spiders that I just don't jive with. I respect them, stay away from them. There's a few. There's another one that's similar to a camel spider, but it's black. And it has the same mechanism of just like shit, and it's small and hairy and scary and very fast. And oh, they can stay wherever the fuck they live. I got no qualms with that shit. I don't want it. Vingaroons, totally harmless. But that thing that pops their little needle coming out of their butt sprays vinegar in the air when they're bothered. Do I want my house to smell like vinegar because I walked past an enclosure? I do not. So do not jive with that harmless little species. I got nothing. Blackened Heaven, I'm alive. Not dead yet. Not even COVID could take me. Nah, I respect camel spiders can fuck themselves. Pec major is a major muscle. It affects the back, from the back to the diaphragm. I believe that. I would have never ever guessed that going in for a frozen neck and shoulder blade that she would have sat here and done this for 15 minutes and relieved every issue I had. Wild. I still don't understand how it gets so tight. Like how it gets so fucking bungled up in there, but man, I pinch that shit a lot on my own now because I can't afford her. But what a magician. It's just polite when sharing bodies. Exactly. I'll go through an intense grooming regime before I do anything. Vaccines, appointments, you name it, I'm grooming. I do the same. It just feels like respectful because I assume there's a percentage of people who go in there pretty greasy. What's the most? I don't have anything hot right now, actually. The most dangerous? There's another roach on the glass right there. Dangerous. If we're going dangerous, nothing, because there's not one tarantula in the world that can kill a human being by just it doesn't exist unless you have a pre-existing allergy or the bite gets infected with bacteria that was already on you because you're a filth monger, et cetera, et cetera. Like there isn't a recorded, there isn't even a recorded Black Widow death in the United States of America. Like they can't unless you just leave it like an idiot. Like there's no. But if we want to go in terms of like the thing back there that I would least like to interact with because the chances of extreme hospitalization level pain are real up there, meaning that they would literally put me in a medical coma so I wouldn't hurt myself. The pain is so bad. Probably the Poecilotheria metallica, i.e., the peacock spider or the Goody sapphire. Um, Gorgeous, like kind of renowned as one of the most beautiful spiders in the world, but allegedly one of the worst bites you could experience. Won't kill you, but you might want to die. Like allegedly, it's like horrific nerve pain, muscle tightening, burning sensation around the bite. Like a lot of people go to the hospital just to be put out for a week while it passes because there's nothing you can do. I wouldn't fuck, but I don't fuck with any of my tarantulas if I can help it because it's so dangerous for them. Tarantulas and spiders in general are super delicate, and the chances of them getting freaked out, running off my hand, and just exploding is really high. And I'm good. They don't want to be held, and I'm good. You know, what's the point? Europy? What's a Europy? Run serpentine. I don't know a spider that would chase you in terms of you being prey. What I usually tell people, like this time of year, a little bit now it's probably over with, but like in the fall in the desert, a lot of news articles will be like, it's tarantula migrating season. That doesn't exist. But what happens is male tarantulas have reached their end of their lifespan. They know this inherently. So they leave their home and they kind of starve themselves in search of a fuck. And if they're out in the desert and you're standing there, you are shade, you look like a tree. If they're coming at you, they're just looking for shade because they are dehydrated and sex crazed and dying. Like, there is not a tarantula in the world that would look at anything human-sized and think, I mean, have the instinct that, "Oh, yeah, my venom will do something." Or that's even like, most tarantulas won't even attack an insect unless it's smaller than their own abdomen, because that is how they use their whatever one brain cell to figure out what their venom will work on. Basically, if you're not actively managing the land, then of course invasive species are gonna be a bigger problem than they ought to be. I do not like I mean, invasive is so bad, it's just humans, right? The body tenses up when trying to protect itself. Unfortunately, it's often ourselves that are our biggest threat unless we're around other humans and their stupidity. Dude, that isn't that like a statistic with people that get in accidents with cars? Usually, if it involves a drunk driver, the drunk driver survives because they go limp and ragdoll, whereas the sober person tenses up, and when you tense up and then hit your steering wheel or whatever in a horrible accident, your whole body just shatters. But if you're a ragdoll, half of you doesn't shatter. It's really fucked up. I love massages are the best thing. If you can get it, get it. Oh my god. Yeah. Bodies are crazy. I have a big tear in my shoulder blade, but I always feel it in the front of my shoulder. I was surprised when my physical therapist told me it was all happening in the back, and mine was the opposite. All my pain is under my shoulder blade, and it was this that released it. My pec, like squeezing that like extension of your pec right there. Wild. Wild how everything's connected. Amazing. But yeah, I don't know how else would we gauge danger other than just like pain and experience. But she's probably the prettiest. Take California's coastal issue with ice plant. It's literally one of the most destructive plants on the no shit. I see that for sale in plant stores all the time. I know exactly what you're talking about. On the environment, but it's also one of the most photographed and loved plants by tourists and locals who don't know it's invasive. Oh my god, it's like that little moth. Was that last fall or the fall before? It became a really big deal. Like, everybody was taking pictures of this. It was like a white and black and orange or pink or something speckled moth. And like people were like, "Oh my god, Instagramming them," but they're like one of the most destructive, invasive, fucking horrible things ever. Was that in California? Oh shit. It sounds so familiar, literally, to this moth. In the cities in Saudi Arabia, the caiman spiders don't have camels to hunt, so they chase and kill stray dogs and cats. Ah! I've seen them eat a lizard. I believe it. I was a little kid, it chased me 75 feet. Yeah, they are different. Camel spiders or something else, I got nothing there, man. Fuck that shit. Sulfids or something is their family name. I can't remember the full thing. It's they're else. They are other. I live in Florida and have to deal with managing and repercussions from invasive species my entire life. Literally. Literally. Glutz in extent of lifetime, there has not been a moment of not invasive species, which is crazy. Dude, Migrants, isn't it crazy when it's like just a room full of people who are super passionate about something and love to talk about it? I learn shit every day here. You guys are interesting as fuck. Thanks, Fatal. I try my best. T Night, thank you so much for summoning the class, keeping the class alive, and giving it an ace so fucking long. I fucking appreciate you. I allow myself one Prime sub on Twitch. I have yet to find someone more deserving. One non-Prime.
I gave it a wash, turned it on, and slipped it in.
I love you. That was very nice. Thank you. The lanternfly. Thank you, Rogue. That's what it was. It wasn't a moth. It looked like one to the untrained eye. Like, I had no idea what the fuck it was. Yes, the spotted lanternfly. What is it? Why is it bad? Can you remind me? I just finished reading The Sixth Extinction. Oh god, dude. It is tragic. I follow a lot of like the majority of my Instagram accounts I follow are like organizations that, announce new species that have either disappeared or become critically endangered, and like it's important to know about, but holy shit is it sad and really oh man, dark. It's a dark road. Thank you for that fucking resub, Bliffle. I appreciate you. That's a lot of fucking months. Don't forget your Prime subs. Speaking of, thank you for using it here. You don't have to, no pressure. But if you have a Prime account, you have a free sub to give to a streamer once a month, every month, forever. And every time you don't, you have firmly shoved a $5 bill up the asshole of Jeff Bezos. Bitch does nothing for society. Use your $5 holla, bitch. We get paid all the same. Thank you. Appreciate you. Dude, the peelies, like, I'm the first person to say I love some good peel porn, i.e., watching people peel the makeup off. But man, I do believe that time I forgot to Vaseline my chest. And although you can't see it, I've got a thick mane of chest now. I've got peach fuzz everywhere, as does every human. And that was all liquid latex. And so I was like, guys, are you ready for the peel porn? And did not realize. And so I just had to like band aid it. So bad. Don't be me. Good morning, Eliza. I hope you're doing well. Fuck lantern flies. That's what they were then. I pay my kids a nickel for each spotted lanternfly. So far, they've got quite a pot going. Good. That's awesome. What do they do? They're really bad in some way. What up, Will? How are you? I can't remember why though. They breed disease. They breed diseases in trees. Ew. My climate anxiety would spiral every time I open an app if I did that, dude. I already have it, so it's just confirming that I'm not crazy and that we are destroying the world. For instance, that tarantula I was literally just talking about, like the one I would least like to get a bite from behind me, the Poecilotheria metallica, there's less than 100 in nature right now because it was first discovered on a train in Goody, India. And so they were like, oh my God, let's look for more. No, it was not from Goody, India. It jumped a train from this like 70-mile radius chunk of forest in India where these beautiful neon blue spiders exist, and they clear cut that forest. And so, because of fucking people, there is literally no environment for these tarantulas. So they live in people's houses and shit. And some people think they're bad luck or something because they're really bright blue. So they just murder them. It's terrible. And because of all that, they're super expensive. Crazy and super sad. Unexpected chest wax hard. I mean, I literally would never have even thought. I mean, I do the shit on my face, like the Aquaphor or whatever, so stuff doesn't stick on my face and stuff. I didn't even think about it on my chest because I don't have obvious peach fuzz, but everybody's got fuzz. Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Mm. They eat fruits and trees and then they spread fucking nasty. Any invasive species will make the native plants fight to live in their ecosystem, eventually destroying native flora and fauna and ruining the ecosystem. I kind of like I agree. I can't remember who said it. Someone was saying like they're already here. We can't really eliminate invasive species. I agree with that. At this point, it's about not doing it again and stopping thinking we can fix it, like the wolf thing. Like, yeah, we wiped out local wolves and now we've got too many elk. That doesn't give us the right to bring down Canadian timber wolves and now introduce them. Like, we got to stop thinking we can fix stuff because I think we just make it worse, right? Oh, the problem is that there's no natural predator for them, speaking of the lanternflies, because they feed on trees. They end up killing local tree populations. Okay, fuck lanternflies. I too will I've never seen one, but if I ever do, I will kill it. And they have no natural predator here, making them even more dangerous. Awesome. Ginger Bay, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, raiders. What's up? We're talking about killing lanternflies. They are gorgeous. I mean, literally just like get yourself a little spray bottle of rubbing alcohol, and every time you see a lanternfly, just spray its face a whole bunch. It will just die, and then preserve it in something pretty. Become creepy like me. And then you're like killing those nasty bugs, and you make something pretty from it. I don't know. Maybe you'll get lucky and get a pregnant one. I aim to disassociate from the inevitable horrors of the future. I mean, thankfully, Lizzie, realistically speaking, the horrors that will be truly felt, i.e., like going outside and everything hurts all the time everywhere in the world, won't happen until we're dead. Ooh, you seem super knowledgeable about spooters, Katie? Spiders? Can you explain why if I'm in a room with spiders, they run at me? Because spiders hate light, they hate wind. That's a huge loaded question. They hate light, they hate wind, and you are a large shaded structure. And most spiders specifically, aim to be as high as possible. Most spiders. So for instance, that spider I was talking about earlier is in the highest fucking corner of my wall over there, and I have white walls. It's the only reason I can see it. He's probably like an inch and a half long-ish. He's just a house spider, but I can see him from here because he's huge. They want to be as high as possible. So, for instance, if you have disturbed a spider in your bathroom, it's on the floor, you are taller than the floor, it is going to escalate you and then try to get off of you. That's just instinctual. But if you don't like spiders, best advice I can give you is get a fan. Every spider, tarantula, arachnid in the world fucking hates wind because wind is the equivalent to them of me screaming in both of your ears at top volume when you're trying to hear a predator coming for you. They don't have hearing, and most spiders, aside from like jumping spiders, which we know are harmless, so let's not even go there. Jumping spiders have great vision because they're active hunters. Every other spider and tarantula in the world, for the most part, has horrific vision. Even though they have 8 eyes, it's horrible. It's essentially used to tell if there's light or dark above them, i.e., something walking over them. That's about as good as their vision is. So the way that they sense their world is the hairs on them, i.e., tarantulas, or by spinning a web that can then react to the environment around them. They're kind of like sonar, but through feel. So if you hate spiders and you have this existential fear of a spider crawling on your pillows, get a fucking fan, blow it at your pillows all night. A spider will never crawl on you. Ever. It will leave your room. They fucking hate wind. You wouldn't want to hang out if I was just screaming in both of your ears all the time and there was potential predators all around you. You know what I'm saying? They aim to be, oh my god, spiders are an animal after Katie's heart. They aim to be as high as possible. Amen. They do. They're tremor sense. Or the worms in Dune. Mm-hmm. They really do. And that's the only way they can sense their world. They really can't see anything. So if a spider runs at you, it's aiming because you are now the tallest thing in the room, and that is the most advantageous point for that spider to survive, hunt, etc. Tarantulas, however, for the most part, live in 7-meter holes underground or under a log or something. So if a tarantula is running at you, it's a sex-crazed male that's weeks from death, and you are shade. But again, not a tarantula in the world, especially in the Americas. The Americas do have 1 or 2 species of tarantula native. There's like a Texas brown and Arizona blonde. I believe they're Calcotes is the family. Correct me if I'm wrong. Not the family, you know what I mean. The name group. Um, Literally less potent bite if you were to have a bite from one than a bee. Than literally a honeybee. It is nothing. They are slow, chunky little fucks. Yeah, I love spiders. Could you guide a spider out of your house with a fan? You could do it with your mouth. Just one little puff, that spider will will get the fuck away from whatever is doing that. Because it's like me just being like, ah! It's all they've got, you know? Flap a towel at them like you're trying to seriously. Yeah. You just wind. It's crazy how well it works. It's wild. Spiders fucking hate wind. Jumping spiders I love me a jumping spider. I would be so scared to squish one, but we have jumping spiders in Colorado that get as big as your thumbnail. I've actually just recently saw one dropping from my ceiling, and I had to remind myself, like, that's not one of mine, right? Because they're so big, but it's just a jumping spider, and they're so harmless and so fun to watch. I feel like they're watching you. They're like interacting with you. I don't know. Is that just me? I love them. Red wolves are another wolf species that's trying to be reintroduced into its native range, but they're often killed because they get confused with coyotes. Reintroducing into their native range seems okay. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. It's like, the spice and everything. So if you got a bunch of I'm 6 foot Tinder dudes and line them up and see which one the spider goes to, amazing. I finally figured out that the largest low-flying insect that hassled me in my yard was a carpenter bee. Are those the huge bumblebees with, like, really transparent, almost looking butterfly wings? I have yet to see a wild tarantula, but I would literally shit my pants. We do get the giant jumpers, though, and they're pretty cool. Did that answer your question? I'm sorry. I really like spiders, and I get really weird about them when I talk about them. I think carpenter bees live underground. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they have little underground colonies, something like that, or they live, like, in old dead wood, but I don't think they do a hive. Washing spiders, spider webbing, washing dishes, Katie spiders, spider webbing down, time to whistle. Seriously, they hate it. They will go the fuck away. Spiders do matter. I mean, dude, I say that a lot, Ghost. Like, when people say they fucking hate spiders, like burn the house down, whatever. Can you imagine how many little blood-sucking, creepy insects that want to consume you and I both would exist? How many more would exponentially exist in the world if there were no spiders to eat them? I.e., ticks, mosquitoes, etc. Like, spiders are so fucking necessary to the ecosystem if we don't want to get et alive. The common name carpenter bee derives from their nesting behavior. Nearly all species burrow into hard plant material such as deadwood or bamboo. There you go. The main exceptions are species in the subgenus Proxylocopa. That's a fun name. Which dig nesting tunnels. I think we have both in Colorado. We also have these little, I think people here call them carpenter bees, but I don't know what they're called. They're literally like the size of my pinky nail, and they are like peacock blue. Really, really small little bees, and they live underground. And I see them on my sunflowers all summer long. They are so pretty. In a sticky mousetrap. Oh, I would have cried. I love that you're so into spiders. I don't want to hate spiders. I don't want people. I mean, my sister taught me a quote. This is crazy. She is someone who, before I started keeping spiders and like over inundating her with spider things, she is someone who would scream, burn the house down, run out of the house, and wait for the spider to be goned by somebody. She was like that, just with spiders. Just fucking hated them. And I don't know what she was reading or where she got this, but it was some quote that said, "Why do humans feel the right to destroy something just because they fear it?" Something along those lines. And she started applying that to the little house spiders in her house. And now she like names them and sends me pictures. She's not gonna go snuggle them. Like, I'm not snuggling fucking big old spider on my wall, but respecting a harmless thing in your house and not just murdering. It was pretty insightful. Carpenter bees live in any wood. Well, maybe not any, but dead or alive. It probably has to be like broken down or something. Fuck carpenter bees. Do they break down wood structures? I was gonna ask, are they like termites? Knowing Katie has drastically improved my arachnophobia. I still have arachnophobia, but I cope better. Honestly, that's all I can ask for. All I can ask for is like a calm response to a spider. Because really, if it doesn't actually pose a physical danger, why waste your energy? Cranberry spider? Wait, what? Okay, I thought it was gonna be a pretty spider that looked like a cranberry, and now I'm learning there's a spider that lives in a bog. Orchard bee, they're really blue. Yeah, it's like metallic blue, but they're really small. Oh, Zoe, day 2, they still suck. What have you called? Does your doctor know you have like? Are you on like a? Okay, this is how many days you can sit in existential pain because of the kidney stone, and now we got to go in and ultrasound break that up. Because if not, I would give your doctor a call. Pain is bad. Pain causes, your whole body to clench up. It can cause the muscles around your ureter to clench up and not release the kidney stone, et cetera, et cetera. Like, you know this. I'm not trying to treat you like stupid, but if you need the language to communicate with your doctor, there you go. The amount of pain I'm in is leading to increased symptoms. Kitty significantly improved my arachnophobia. Really? I still dislike them, but I don't kill them now unless they're in my space. Then no promises, and I stand by that. If I'm half naked in bed, relaxed, about to go to sleep, and a giant wolf spider crawls across my face, and I do this and kill it, I'm not gonna feel bad. That is my safe zone, and I have a huge air conditioner blowing air at me like you're a stupid spider. Get out. They eat decks and siding and housing made of wood, not terribly, but they bore holes. Yeah, that sounds bad. That look like drill bits. I think I've seen people build homes for them so they don't do that. I've seen like it looks like a birdhouse, but it'll just be a ton of little tubes, like little burrowed holes, and they hang it in the garden for, I think that. They infested your deck? In bed. Dude, I wouldn't feel bad. That's your safe place. Bed's your safe place. That's not where a spider should be, especially if you have a fan maturely on your pillows. McTaggart, honestly, I think Black Widows and brown recluse have gone pretty much all over the U.S. because of people. Like, they used to I think brown recluse used to be just, like, the Midwest kinda thing, like, they were in, like, Missouri, I know, and a few of the states around there, and then, I mean, we spread everything, but no shit, this is real. There is not one recorded death due to neither a brown recluse or a black widow in the United States of America. Now, does that mean no one has died from either of those? Absolutely not. But in order to report a venom-based death to the government, we must have whatever bit you. And an entomologist, like a medical entomologist, will then test that spider, test your flesh, blah, 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 put it together, be like, yes, that's what bit you. It will not, there will never be a recorded or reported spider bite if you don't come in with whatever the fuck bit you. Ever. Same with snakes, shit like that. And there are 2 deaths due to spider bites in the United States of America. I cannot remember which species they were, but neither were due to the venom nor the spider. They were what we call, what is the word for it? It's oh my god, I just blanked on the word. There's a word for it. It's basically injury that occurs after the initial injury. It's like a mobile injury or something like that. I just forgot the word for it. But basically what happened was that person didn't take care of the wound the spider caused, and bacteria from their natural flora crawled into it, and they got gangrene and their hand rotted off. But there is not a venom in the world that can cause Fournier's gangrene. Fournier's gangrene is caused by a very specific bacteria that lives on you and I all the fucking time. It's just waiting for an opportune moment to get deep enough into your skin to cause an infection, and it's got to go through all the layers. So a general scratch usually won't cause it. It's got to be a pretty deep bite, and there are some spiders out there that are totally harmless and have 2-inch fangs, which is just like a free range hole into the most scary part of your arm where infection and shit like that happens. But those are real spider facts, and if that doesn't give you comfort, I don't know what to do. Some screaming. So, a spider bite can lead to necrosis or, necrotizing fasciitis, which is also something caused by a very specific bacteria. But that bacteria is on your skin all the time. It's part of your and I's natural flora that just lives on us. The times that we get an infection from it is when we're already immunocompromised, meaning we're sick, get cancer, something like that that's already knocking us down. You're going through chemo, and then you get a cut that is deep enough for that infection to lead to something serious, and you don't take care of said infection, i.e., clean it and put on fucking Neosporin and a band-aid. Most of the horrible infections that happen from spider bites and stuff is from people who go camping and roll on top of a spider while they're sleeping, and they get a little bite while they're sleeping that they don't know about on their back. They think it's a pimple. They pick it out with their dirty, poopy fingernails. Now they get Fournier's gangrene in their back that goes to their spine, and they die. But really, it was because they had shitty fucking dirty fingernails, and they picked a wound. Ew, right? We are our own downfall. You could be the first. You become the tree. I know, that's the best. Not a venom death, but I can't lose a finger as a massage therapist. Don't do that. You don't want, I mean, you don't, like, I think your hands, literally your hands and your arms are the most valuable thing you have. Venom-based death is a great indie rock band. That would be fucking sick. It's co-infection. It's not a co-infection. It's not a comorbidity. It's like, it's right on the tip of me. It's like a mechanical injury is what we call it. Mechanical injury. So, for instance, if you break your leg in a car accident, but you die due to a horrible infection in that compound fracture, that infection that caused your death is now a mechanical injury. It happened, like, breaking your leg did not kill you. Not taking care of the wound, et cetera, is what killed you. Like, eventually a bacteria infected you. But yeah, Fournier's gangrene, necrotizing fasciitis, those are all names for real, like, rotting, horrible, self-feeding, rotting skin things that happen on you that are caused by very, very specific bacteria, most often Staphylococcus aureus. She's a bitch. Does that make sense, though? It's like a knife stabbing can cause necrosis as a mechanical part of the injury, meaning necrosis wasn't caused by the blade. It was caused by the deep-ass wound, bacteria on your skin, not being taken care of, et cetera, blah, 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 infection, cellulitis, shit like that. Sepsis. Ugh. Sepsis is used, I think, a little more liberally than it should in terms of, like, movies, media, etcetera. Correct me if I'm wrong, sepsis is defined as 3 or more entire organ systems failing, right? Like, you don't get sepsis. Does that make sense? Like, a lot of people will be like, "Oh my god, I got sepsis." Like, you are so sick that your body is now forgetting entire organ systems to solely focus on whatever the fuck is sick. Your body is no longer supporting those organ systems. So, like, for instance, some people that get COVID, their kidneys shut down, and that's their body saying, "We can't waste energy on the kidneys, they're not vital." And then that spreads to other organ systems, but it's gotta be 3 or more. So sepsis is like a big word that can be caused by a lot of things, but you can't like get it. You don't get sepsis. It occurs to you because of something. It could be a mechanical injury, really. You go septic, exactly. Going septic means 3 or more organ systems in you have said, "Fuck it, we're not vital. We're gonna die now," and no more blood is sent there, and they do rot and die. You don't want to be sick. If there's a spider on my bed, it better be someone's fursona. Fuck yes. That is the best thing I've ever heard. My fingernails are pristine. I clean and file them constantly, so do I. But we know the stats of how much poop is under people's fingernails. Like, it takes you being told, unfortunately. Like, there are a lot of people who have never cleaned under their fingernails before, and they just think it's dirt. It's dead skin and poop. Yeah, you develop sepsis, you become septic, you don't get sepsis. Yeah, it's not contagious, but like the infection that caused that person to go septic could be infectious, could be like spreadable, if that makes sense. Media fucks people up. It's no fault of any of yours. Like, no one's stupid. We all do the best with what we are given. There were so many things I was completely blown away by when I actually went to medical school. I was like, "Oh my god, what?" And we all treat it just like common knowledge because it's just repeated over and over and over and over and over so many times. It's like, how could they do that over and over and over so many times if it wasn't at least partially right, right? Holy shit. Sepsis, also known as septicemia, septicemia, or blood poisoning, is a potentially life-threatening condition that arises when the body's response to infection causes injury to its own tissues and organs. The initial stage of sepsis is followed by suppression of the immune system. It doesn't say how many organ systems, though. I could have swore there's like a number. I mean, at least maybe that's medical charting wise. Like, we don't consider you septic until X amount of organ systems have completely failed. I could have swore there was a number with it. I don't know. It's been a while since I was in school. I had somebody casually tell me they had sepsis in the hospital, and they were just chilling on Twitter, and I was like, "That seems off. I wonder what they were actually told." I don't know a nurse that would say someone had sepsis or whatever, but, like, damn. There are sick assholes that think they don't need to wash their ass because that would make them gay, dude. You're so right, though. It's so fucking weird. Why is having dirty ass a straight man ideal? I don't know where that came from. I really don't know why. Like, I don't understand how being hygienic to the place you poop is gay, but stroking your dick a whole bunch until it vomits regularly isn't. Like, if we're gonna go touching yourself is gay, we're gonna go all the way, motherfuckers. You're all gay as fuck. Gay it up. Be gay, do crime. You know? Like, don't fuck with me. Adrenal failure, influenza, and another issue would have caused me to go septic. Something like that, yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yep. It would just be like, usually for you, honestly, David, it's probably because your lungs get so sick that your body sends all of its energy there. And, non-essential, there's still essential organ systems, but your body knows its order of operations. Non-essential organ systems get tossed to the side for the time being. I mean, they can come back. Like, obviously, that's why we intervene and, like, take over with a ventilator or something so your body doesn't go septic. I used to work with an idiot that thought sewed and scented things caused cancer, so he showered in soap. He thought soap. I don't know what to do with that. Not dead. Still not dead. Let's forget cleaning your ass makes you gay. You're only a straight man if your ass is dirty. Dude, I just don't. I mean, I want nothing to do with that. Yes, I'm gay, Liz. I wash my ass every day. Dude, hard same. We're all gay criming. If you think touching your butthole is gay, you've never played with your booty. And also, right? Like, dead fish. Dead fish. Be crime, do gay. Being clean is linked to being particular about your appearance, and real men don't care. Dude, we were talking about that. Was that this morning or yesterday? I was talking about how I know, like, there's this. My mom thinks this, and I know a lot of people her generation are like, beards look dirty, they look unkempt. Like, when someone has a big beard, they just assume they don't care about themselves. And as someone who, like, knows a lot of people with big epic beards, y'all spend more time and products on your beard than I have ever done on this shit. That is not, I mean, I'm sure there's beards out there that just let go, but like the vast majority of people that have a beard on purpose, they are like trimming and combing and oiling and maintaining and washing that. It is a big bunch of hair on your face, for fuck's sake, that also gets exposed to food and pussy and cock. Women love a clean butt too. How is it gay? I mean, I think everyone loves a clean butt, right? I'd much rather a clean anything I'm gonna put my mouth on. You think you want your girls to smell like, dude, oh my god, can you imagine coming away and having a little, no. That's right, men, gay. Ooh, on a note of washing, what are they? African net sponge? Ooh, is it like an exfoliator? Ooh, is it a glove exfoliator? Those are the shit. I learned about how dirty loofahs are, and it quite fucked me up. Is that for pee-pees? Or is it for everything? I hope, oh, it's for everything, okay. Because it totally looks like a little net for a pee-pee. I love that. Also a flat earther. Okay, then maybe just let him soap free. Maybe that's where we just let, what is it, Darwin happen? Yeah. Cleve, it's real. I believe it. I believe it. And I truly think it's because hair products have been on the market for so long. They're like perfecting them to the point where we don't have to have 7. Like I can get one hair product that has everything I need in it. Beards are like a huge marketing thing these days. And so they're like, no, no, no. We're not going to, that fruit fly, I'm going to kill it. We're not going to give you one product that works. You're going to have 7. And this boar bristle hairbrush that's monogrammed with your initials. But if you don't, like that shit, I can't imagine having a knot of hair on my face. My god, having to brush out a tangle on your face? Ow. Pain. Ooh, I've had to pluck an eyebrow before. Oh my, like a big ol' eyebrow hair, you know, one that makes your eyes water. Jesus Christ. Dude, Marilyn, right? I'm working on it. I'm working on it. My voice is a little rough, but I'm working on it. Oh my god, Lizzie. I mean, how many dead skin layers did we have? You know, a good way to test, put a hissing cockroach on your leg. If it has no interest in scraping its little face, then you've done too much. Conditioners, softeners, oils, shapers, balms, blah, blah, blah. Exactly. And then, I mean, exactly, like, depending on the texture, a lot of people have to use balms and stuff to get it so it's not like, like you stuck your hand in a light socket or something. I understand and appreciate the effort a lot of people put into beards. I would never say that that indicates unkempt. My God. That's like people who think a fro is low maintenance. You know what I'm saying? Like you've never spoken to a human before, right? You're just you like watch TV and assume? Okay. All right. I get it. Also, hey, how are you? Stop trying to make Darwin happen, Katie. It's not gonna happen. All I want for Christmas. Some Darwin. I mean, honestly, thankfully I've never been in an intimate relationship with someone who didn't put products in their beard. But I know people who have made out with someone with a beard and their beard is so sharp and like pokey that it actually stabbed into the other person's flesh skins, like opened their pores and gave them acne. Beard oil, please. Just what? I had someone come in the ER who had a hair sliver in their face from their partner's beard. A sliver of fucking hair jammed in their face. Like, I don't. Oh. I have no words for that one. Just a big fucking ouch. Chat, can I be your spider persona? That's the only kind in my bed. There's a lot of this I have to do to ensure my hair doesn't look like a dreaded mess, 100%. Yeah. I learned more about black hair in my 5, 7 year however long I lived in Baltimore, I don't know anymore because time's not real, than I ever would have ever understood in my life, like, in terms of weaves and just hair texture in general, blah, et cetera, like, holy shit. But, I mean, it's because I fucking asked my friends. I didn't just sit there and assume stupid shit in my head like a fucking idiot. Imagine! Wild. Ooh, some beard shampoo's real nice. I had some that smelled so much like Frosted Berries. I've had a body wash like that before. It didn't smell like Frosted Berries, but it smelled so fucking good, like, I almost overbathed just to use it constantly. I think it was a Lush product, and Lush, so I don't buy Lush anymore, but they had this scent. It was called Karma, I think, and I wanted to, like, it in me. Like, I was crackly a little bit. I had, like, a small chunk of the soap wrapped in a cheesecloth in my purse just so I could sniff it. Like, it was a little issue. I think there's drugs in Lush is all I'm saying. Allegedly. Whatever. No shit. Hair slivers are common for hairstylists, especially in their feet. That is horrifying. I just hide secrets in my beard. At least it's not slivers. No shit, your head hair gets sharp? My hair is so damaged. I don't think it's ever been sharp a day in my life, but ow. Part of my daily routine that takes most of the time is the beard portion of it. I'm proven again. I've witnessed it a bunch, but you guys really do solidify, like, I'm not crazy. It's just as enough. It's just as much maintenance, if not more, than head hair. Like, I don't even put as much product on my head. My beard gets washed and brushed daily, balmed 2 times a week, and oiled weekly. I feel that and I respect it, man. I've spent way more on beard stuff than anything else grooming related. Yeah, they do have itty bitty beard straighteners. Oh my god, have you never seen those? Okay, no shit. I have both of these products, but I used it for my hair when my hair was like a pixie cut. But I think you could, I mean, allegedly use them for a beard. One of them, I still use this to this day when my hair's not like this and I fry it straight. It's literally like a brush. It looks like a hairbrush, but you plug it in, and the bristles are made of porcelain, as well as the base, like the inside of the brush. So not only does the plate get hot, but the bristles get really hot. And then you just like do this. You just brush it through your hair, and it creates like a really nice, soft, natural kind of smoothing effect without being that pin straight early 2000s. Like when you move your head, it kind of moves like an icicle with you thing. We all did it. Don't look at me like that. But also, I have a straightener that's like this big for when your hairs are super short. I bet that would work. By Dry Bar, if you're looking. I did. Oh my god, yes, I had a pixie. Well, this long ago. I don't. I think I've had a hair trim one time since the pixie cut. I think it was like, I think it was almost 2 years ago this spring. Wow. Crazy. Yeah, it was like the shortest I think I was willing to go because I do kind of like my hair as an accessory and I didn't want to go bald, but it was like that long. It was tiny. It was fun. Um, my neck was cold all the time. You lose a lot of heat in the neck. I get that, Mel, 100%. I try to get things that are, like, marketed as unscented, but I think we all know, like, it's inevitable. Everything has a scent. It's just, like, not added scents, but everything. I mean, it's really hard to find something that doesn't have a smell. Not me with my Lush shampoo bar for Infinity. I don't know if Lush was like, this is what Lush did in the States, and it was enough for me to pull out of their overpriced shit. During the height of Black Lives Matter marches, when cops were going out there and just running over people marching for Black Lives Mattering, wow. Lush, the company, made a statement by making little gift bags for the police officers and then having the employees, like, walk them out in Times Square and, like, hand them to the police officers who were standing up against the Black Lives Matter movement. And I was like, "Nah, I'm cool. I'm good. I don't have a lot of money, so I think about where it goes and how I talk with it." And that was just one place that I just you know, I can find other shampoo. That's all I'm saying. and soap that I like the smell of. Cheers, Viata. This is Baby Metal. Fucking yeah. What song is this? Nippon Manju. That sounds dirty or bad. What's Manju? Manju. Manju? Right? No, I'm not here to like outlush or like turn you guys away from anything, but like as a as a tiny person that doesn't matter and doesn't have a voice of anything or any money to speak with, like I feel like the only way I can say I don't support anything you're doing is by not giving a company my money. I don't know how else to do it. They still exist. They're still everywhere. Like obviously no one gave a fuck. But I don't care if that shit smelled like heaven. Racism I don't want to wash my body with. That's just a choice. It was a very, very public political choice, yeah. It's shit like that that makes me disappointed to call them British. And that's why I was like, I don't know if the company in America is different because growing up buying Lush products, they all said they were from Canada. All the products I got in the Washington state said they were from Canada. So I don't know if Canada has like a Lush Canada and then there's Lush Britain. Like they might be completely different bodies that don't choose to stand up for horrific things like racism. I don't know. But like, I'm good. Instead, I'm so lazy. Instead of like digging into all that, I'd rather just use a different soap, you know? That's enough for me. Reminds me of that one wash ad where a black woman used it and she turned white. Oh my god, what was that? Was that Nivea? I know exactly what you're talking about. And they were like, white is right. I mean, literally, that was in the ad. Something like that. And it was about what it was like becoming clean. It was Dove. Oh my god, yeah. I remember I mean, Nivea did something very similar where they had an ad campaign of a very white woman and it said something along those lines of white is right or something. Like in the last 20 years this existed. It was and so and they were like, "Oh my god, we didn't notice." You just wonder, man. You just wow. See, Lizzie, and that's what I'm saying. Who knows across country borders? I have no idea. Lady metal, not baby metal. Is it different? It sounded like baby metal. Manchu's kind of dessert. Japanese dessert. Oh, like mochi. So it's Japanese mochi. Oh, cute. So it's like sweet Japanese. Sweet. Because I can't remember even what the first word was anymore, but didn't that mean Japanese or Japan or something like that? I know I watch so much anime. I feel like I pick up some words and then completely black out what they mean. As a tiny 6-foot Amazon, Katie. Okay, in person, I'm very imposing. But in any other way, I have no power at all or voice or whatever. But I guess in person, sure. Lady Beard later formed the band with singers Ri Kaneko and Ray Kurumiya. I am so sorry if I pronounce those horribly. And released their first track and music video, Nippon Manju. There you go. Japanese bun. It's a bun. Which is a song that covers all the things they love about Japan. Released in July of 2015. Boom. I don't think I'd ever heard that song before. It just came up on my list, but I liked it. Has Dove been making a lot of changes? I mean, I would Jesus Christ. In this day and age, fucking the fact that you can and won't means more than anything. Also coming around the 1990s and such, the little brown kid could do with a what? Oh my god, who did that one? I remember that. Who did that? Oh my god, you have just unlocked a memory. Who did that one? Bliff, I remember that. I can like see it. Oh, it's in me. I can see it. Oh my god, you have unlocked a core memory. I forgot about that fucking commercial. Whoa. I remember that so clearly. I just clicked on the wrong shit. This is the Dove commercial. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm kind of excited and nervous to see this. Hold on. Oh my god. Please load. Just gonna let it buff for a second. I'm a little nervous and a little excited. Hold on. I have Lizzie's 2 that buffered. Everything else crashed because my computer's a piece of shit. Oh my god, that is so crazy that I remember that one. A Lush store in Israel had a boycott Israel sign outside, so it feels like that might have been an independent Lush shop group of shop decisions because it's not consistent with their company ethics. Lush treat their employees pretty bad, which is why a lot of people stopped buying for a bit, but they're improving standards now. Hmm. Lush in Ireland. Ireland? Ireland, not Israel. Typos are real. That's totally okay. Did you ever watch Steven Universe? I feel like I did. It sounds familiar. Dove did a whole campaign with Steven Universe about acceptance. Was it after this one? Because holy shit. It's the level of tone deaf is pretty crazy sometimes. I don't know if tone deaf's the word. Out of touch? Long after. Okay, that makes sense. Hold on. Lizzie's buffered. Let's get these. When they make laws like that or impose laws like that, like you can't own X breed, it's such a false sense of security to give to people. Because every dog can be a piece of shit if their owner is a fucking piece of shit. And every dog can be the best cuddly teddy bear in the world if their owner knows how to fucking love a dog. Like, it's breed. Are you kidding? What? Dogs are dogs are dogs are dogs. It's because of you, you piece of shit. I hate that stuff. I have known some of the kindest, most loving pitties, and I've known golden retrievers that want to eat my face. Okay, I've never known a child that didn't love anyone except their one owner. But I didn't have one try to kill me. It just, like, made it very clear I couldn't come near my aunt for quite some time. I shouldn't laugh. I was a very small child. Its purple tongue made me giggle. I think, oh my god, correct me if I'm wrong, Cleve. My brain just farted on the Shar-Peis. Shar-Peis, like the dogs that look like your fourth grade teacher's underarm. They are like the most likely to turn on their owner and just fucking eat you or some shit. Pretty wild. They look all like fleshy, wrinkly, like every part of them. I firmly would believe bad owners are more common than bad dogs. And I think, and this is probably me just overextending because I love dogs more than people, but if you are so dumb as to adopt a chow without realizing the training and like exposure to things and people and other dogs and etc., the work that goes into raising a chow to not be a murderer, then you are a bad dog owner. What are you doing getting a chow? I mean, you don't have to do research. A quick fucking Google tells you all you need to know about. I mean, there are breeds who are just strong. There's no such thing as an aggressive breed. They're afraid because you did that. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't invest in a fucking specialized purebred dog if you're literally not even willing to do the easiest Google, let alone some goddamn research before you invest in a dog. Ugh, I can't with that. Dogs are everything. Dogs are only dangerous when their owners make them dangerous, right? It's so, I mean, I understand there are dogs out there from inbreeding, probably purebred inbreeding, and just in general, they have the personality type that is strong and they need a strong owner. Do a quick Google and figure that out before you fucking adopt a dog. My God's sake. Like, it doesn't take a lot, and you're going to save a lot of people pain and anguish. Samoyeds are like stubborn teddy bears. Are those the huge ones? Is it huskies as well? Huskies are super smart, except Marbles. Marbles is a perfect being of light and rainbows and magic, though. We've all just come to understand that. Eternal. 100%. People, I mean, to look cool, I watched a whole special on people that thought they had a wolf dog. And it was usually Instagram models who just wanted something to add to their Instagram, and I'm not just making that up, like, it really was, at least in this show, and they were like, "Yeah, this is my wolf dog," and it was like, I if it's not Samoyed, it's the other kinda husky that just gets huge, and they just have, like, insanely thick hair, like, they're meant to sleep on ice, I think they prefer frozen meat and shit. They get these dogs, and they pay thousands of dollars for them, and then they got their genetics tested, and they were like, "Is 0%, if any, wolf at all?" It's actually illegal to own anything past, like, 4th generation wolf DNA because the likelihood of that dog just turning on you in your sleep and fucking ripping your throat out is super high. Because instinct? Like, do people not like, how many years of domestication did we get to, like, these? I don't even know. Lots, you know? Why are we going backwards? Why would you do that? Sister has a Chihuahua Pomeranian mutt, and God, she's a tiny fancy fluff of annoying dog hair. Always. I believe that. How do you know the horse wasn't an assassin sent after you? I honestly, we can call her by her name. Her name was Nadia. She's probably fucking dead now. Just kidding. Probably. Um, I wouldn't not think that because horses are glue. I've I had a neighbor with a half Shar Pei, and that dog could go from loving and happy to just super angry out of nowhere. No idea if it was a breed thing or an owner thing, but it was something. Yeah. I had an aunt who I had an aunt. My aunt had a Chow for years. I'm gonna get that fruit fly. And I literally saw that dog maybe twice ever. Because every single time we had a family function or went over to my aunt's house, she would have to lock the dog in the garage because it wanted to kill anyone that wasn't her. And it was kind of a joke in the family that Taz was always in the garage and we could hear Taz like and see the door like breaking like honey I'm home kind of shit, and we were all just like oh Taz. But now as an adult that has dogs of my own that are hyper fucking intelligent, you have to be kind of strong to have one. Jesus fucking Christ. That's not funny. Literally like Tasmanian Devil. My aunt is an 80s baby, like an oops baby. And of all my aunts, she's like 13 years younger than my mom. She's of that generation where it was super cool to get either a dolphin or the literal Tasmanian Devil tattooed on your ankle. And she has one. And yeah, that dog was named Taz. But I just remember it being a common joke. And I always really desperately wanted to go in the garage because dogs are better than people. And I knew there was a dog in there. My mom was like, you'll die. So I didn't. Instead, I just played with a cat. Misery. Yeah, like Tasmanian Devil, 100%. Yeah, she's my aunt. I think I told you about her. She's the one that had a Jeep, and she had I very specifically remember she had like a dead rabbit's foot on her keys to the Jeep, and we would listen to right, what is it? Something Fred, right said Fred or something like that. The I'm too sexy for my pants, and I just felt like the coolest kid. I was like 4, and I just remember like I am fucking sick right now in that Jeep with her. She also showed me Beetlejuice for the first time. She was sick. She's my cool aunt. If it bounces when it barks, or if I can punt it over a fence, it is not a dog. Man, thankfully Millie was fat. Glue and dog food. I hope that horse lived. I honestly think the horse was fine. I think the horse was fine. Nobody gave a fuck about me, and my parents aren't ones to sue when their kid does something stupid. Like basically accepting that I'm riding horses at a stranger's house regularly with no adult supervision is my parents accepting that that might happen. Like they didn't go nothing like that happened, but yeah, it's possible. As someone who has relatives who actually have wolf dogs, I laugh every time people brag about having wolf dogs, but they're perfectly behaved doggos. The wolf dogs that my relatives own have their own personal enclosure and are almost never let to roam freely or near other animals or near children, minors, or even other adults, right? They're probably outdoor animals, like owning a fox or something, right? Like they have like a field, like you know what I'm saying, like a not a field, but like a like a cow fenced in area. Like they are outdoor animals. They need roam. They need to roam. There's a reason animals in zoos go crazy. We had the dolphins, yeah. We had the cartoons. I think one of my aunts has like Daffy Duck or something somewhere. I love you accidentally doing ASMR while grabbing. I'm so sorry if I get too close. It's just one fruit fly. There's literally no fruit in my house, and I don't know where this fly came from. I feel like it came in from outside, but it's haunting my face today. I must smell nice. Right said Fred. Thank you. Yeah. I didn't have any cool uncles. By the time I was like conscious, like aware, all of my aunts were divorced and just telling me how horrific their ex husbands were. So I grew up with that. That was weird. Like all my uncles were just bad men, as far as I knew, as far as they were willing to tell me, I guess. I want to kill it so bad. Every once in a while, I just see it. It's only one. I've fruited. Where's that spider? Come over here. Come be with my computer. Kill this fucking bug. What the fuck is this? What's this? What's this? What is she? Is she gay? Oh my god. Side note, I smuggled not one but 2 White Castle burgers into a bar, also between my legs, without squishing them, at TwitchCon. At least God gave me a pocket. Fucking fashion. They were delicious, by the way. My first White Castle ever. Okay, this is the Dove ad. I just wanted it to buffer because, like, you know, my computer, this computer specifically has been very strange lately. But it's only 7 seconds. Holy fucking Christ! Oh my God! Holy shit! Migrants, thank you. The first thought that came to my bread was like that came to my bread brain. Not only like the ginger, like they were like not just white, fucking translucent. No hate on them see-throughs out there, but like, wow. It's not, well, I was saying they did a really, really good job of scrubbing it from the internet, so you can probably only find chunks of it, I imagine. Dove is a pretty pervasive company. They're probably one of the big ones, right? Or owned by one of the big 12 or whatever it is. Zeke was scared. I know, he had pockets, motherfucker. What are those like? That's insane. So to give context, the white woman proceeds to take off her shirt to show a Latina woman. However, someone was not thinking, or they were, and are trash. Oh, so it's supposed to be like, we make lotion for everybody? They were race changing. It doesn't make it better. However, context, I guess. They could have, right, exactly, however, they could have gone the other direction. And like, I don't know. I'm kind of led to believe that people go to school for like marketing and learn about marketing. And there's probably a marketing person in charge of this who like you're literally making an ad about the races, which are just made up bullshits anyways. We all are aware of this. Um, the order though, right? Like, come, Brett, you spoke about this. It doesn't make any of it better, but like the order, I feel like was definitely spoken about and was done on per. Yeah, that commercial could have gone through a couple more test groups. I'm saying, like, test groups of people with the brain. Maybe I don't know where to find those. First time I saw that ad all that years ago, all I thought was this is racist. That was my first instinct. I mean, I may be overly sensitive. Call me out. Call a spade if that's what I am. But like, this is pretty clear messaging. And I wasn't raised in like a super overtly racist household, nor was I raised in the South, etc., etc. I was raised in like liberal ass hippievilles, and it's a message. I'll be a snowflake. Snowflakes are super unique and cool, and everybody sticks their tongue out for one. Nobody sticks their tongue out for like anything else. Come on now, we obviously love them. The first time I saw the ad all that years ago, yeah, I think it's, yeah, gross. It reminds me of the other ad we were talking about that I couldn't for the life of me not remember which brand did it, but was the one where, like, that little girl looks like she needs a wash, and then they, like, wash a little supposedly black girl, and now she's white, and everybody loves her or something. It's like a cartoon, if I remember correctly. It's an old one, like 90s, early 80s. Really, really old commercial, but I remember seeing it. Like, someone unlocked this core memory. I remember seeing that fucking commercial at some point. Oh, now, the way you spun Snowflake's hot. I mean, does anything else fall from the sky and everybody goes out in really cute fluffy jackets? No. When's the last time someone did that for your dick? I don't know. Call me a snowflake. They're beautiful. I love the right call and the left snowflakes, and they're, oh, I know, dude, I mean, it's like earlier today, people were saying that there are like weird Trumper people who love Homelander in that show, The Boys, like actually idealize him a little bit. And I'm like, I just finished rewatching the seasons. Like, there's an entire overarching theme of how the Homelander fans are Trump, like like Proud Boy little pussy ass bitches. And like the show is very clearly poking fun, and I just don't, you can't assume intelligence. You know? Just it's off our dance card, I think. Forever. And ever. I don't know. It's alarming to me yeah. I mean, all the things. All the things. Shower thought, the bigger your shoes, the bigger your dick, the bigger your car, the smaller your dick. No wonder people are terrified of clowns. But
How fucking dare you?
that's pretty good. Good job. That's pretty good. Is this the creepy like wash yourself one? Do I want to see it? Oh my god, I think we've seen this one before. I think I've seen this one before. Hold on, it just crashed. Hold up. I have a couple links. I just wanted to clear them out. I have the cranberry one, and that one finally buffered. I think it says it's 0 seconds out of 0 seconds. I think I've broke the internet today. But allegedly there's spiders that live in bogs, and I'm really worried about it, but I have to pee, so I want to take a break first. You should always assume stupidity, being pleasantly surprised when you don't get it. I try to assume middle ground. Like, 4th grade education-ish. That's where I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and then they can prove me wrong with their language and vocabulary either way. Some people are utterly immune to understanding something as satire. Yeah, or it's like, is it that, or is it such a strong sense of like seeing what you want to see? Like so desperately. I can only assume half the reason they're Trumpers is they're clueless morons. That or they're really, 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 really selective. How can you miss that Homelander's the bad guy? That's Glut was saying earlier, there's real people who are like sympathetic to him. Like fans have created subreddits where they're sympathetic to Homelander's cause. And I just, what? The man who still pines over his Nazi lover? What? What? None of that. All of it. None of it? I don't get it. Like, I don't. And they don't dance around it. Like, she's a Nazi. What? I think, honestly, that character in the show, no spoilers, if you haven't watched The Boys, please watch it. There is a character in the show who is straight up a Nazi, but she hates when people call her it. And she has a line where she says something along the lines of, people love me. The people love me and they love what I stand for. They just don't like the word Nazi anymore. And it scares me. Because people, if it came out of a butt and it smells like a butt, and there's a people connected to it pushing it out of the butt, it's probably shit. You know? You can call it an ice cream cone all you want. It's still poop. What the fuck? Little shiny hair. I saw it in my eye, in my mind's eye. Check out our teddy bears. We need some eye bleach after that borderline. I think I have eye bleach lined up. Break time first because I have to pee really bad, but I think I have some. Our teddy bears, though? What the fuck? She's not, and it scares me. I've just never thought of it that way before, but Jesus fucking Christ. They just call themselves Proud Boy. They call themselves whatever Norse symbol they want to steal from Scandinavia. Like, whatever the fuck. You're just racist. You're Nazis. Like, call yourself what you want. We all know what you are, you motherfucks. Be right back. I have to pee, so. Love it. She did. Right time, right place. She's just very picky about where she shits. Thank you for summoning the class, keeping the class alive, and giving a fucking 8 swings. There's a hair on me somewhere. I appreciate you. Go forth and be consensual in all the ways because nothing is sexier than pure sober consent, and enjoy your fucking emotes. Thank you. Appreciate you. Yep, you clean up the poo, and like the amount that I do look at their shit to make sure it's healthy and they haven't eaten anything weird is phenomenal. But like, God forbid they get a bone out of the trash or something like that. I know. I feel like there's a dog hair, like a little curly, invisible one, like stuck on a rhinestone in my nose ring. And every time I breathe out my nose, it like tickles my nostril. It's driving me nuts. I looked. I didn't see anything, but holy shit, itchy. Thank you. There's a lot of hair on my head, though. Hence the reason it's tied up, because fuck that shit. I ain't got the fucking time. Thank you for subbing to the class, keeping the class alive, and giving it a swings for 40 months. Holy shit. And thank you for that Prime sub. Don't forget to use your Prime subs. No pressure to use them here, but please, for God's sakes, use one. Because Jesus fuck Bezos makes billions of dollars off of all those $5 bills you keep shoving up his fucking crusty G-string. And there's a lot of streamers out there starving. Help them. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hail the dankest of lords. My Fire Marshal Bill face. I've always just thought of it as the face. I've never actually put a name to it. Who is Fire Marshal Bill? I don't know who that is. Right? He needs to buy a yacht to get to his bigger yacht that holds his rocket penis to impress rich people and go to space. And how else is that going to happen if we don't just keep throwing away the $5 that they gave us for free to give to someone? Like, if everyone in the world used their Prime sub, I'm pretty sure every single streamer would make, like, above the poverty line in income. That's how many Prime subs are not used. Because people don't even know they exist. It's crazy. They don't want people to know they exist because they don't want to give that money away. Use them. Stick it to the man. Why? I have to look it up now. Hold on. Because it's familiar. Hold on. Fire Marshal Bill. I love Jim Carrey. Oh my god. You're right. I do have to say, this came about naturally, though. It was just a gift. But you're right. Played by Jim Carrey. Yeah, I can't believe I forgot that. Is it like this? How does he talk? Is it bad? I don't know if I can get it to load. Hold on. Oh, is that the little Clipnick? I think Clipnick? Click. Oh my god. Have I seen... I don't know if I've ever seen this. Hold on. Pause. It's a great song. And of spiders, quite clearly. No. I do not want to do that. The sensation alone. I don't know if I would psychologically survive that. Yeah, like, you don't wanna hurt them because 'cause they're using them on purpose, right? So you basically it's like being a beekeeper. Like, you just accept you're gonna be covered in fucking bees/wolf spiders. Because 'Cause they're harmless-ish, but, like, hundreds? I don't want hundreds of anything biting me. I don't care how fucking harmless it is. Yeah, all the little legs, like, panic scurrying up your body away from water because spiders don't like water. I would wear a bee suit as well. Like, that would just be a lot. I mean, it's a panic. So it's like most invertebrates, land invertebrates that breathe air, most of them have some sort of mechanism called book lungs, i.e., gills on their bellies, which is why bugs avoid just sitting in bodies of water. Tarantulas fill their water bowls notoriously because that's danger. If they get stuck in that water bowl, they just suffocate. They can't stop breathing. So that's a whole lot of spider panic. Like, it's one thing for one chill-ass spider to accidentally use you as a tree, but just, like, hundreds of panicked spiders on you, that's a lot. Yes, this is my life now. If they nest in my hair, this is where we live. It's just... I don't... Those bugs would get in the sweaters. I would hope I was gonna say, like, duct tape your sleeves or something, because, like, the spiders don't mean harm, but the sensation of that would just be fucking horrible. If I knew they weren't gonna get on me or in my hair or ears or nose, because, like, spiders don't wanna do those things, but when they're panicked and trying to get away from water, they will crawl the tallest thing and then go into a dark, safe place, i.e. hair, nose, ears. If I knew all that was protected, I'd go. It'd be kinda sick. I just don't wanna feel that. All those little I've had a few tarantulas, like, climb my arm. It happened on stream, everyone saw it, and it is a weird feeling. Multiply that a whole bunch of times, I don't know. I don't Exactly, there are ways to dress. I'd be terrified with a bee suit, to be honest. Like, that many bees is just inherently I think there's something, instinctually in our core that says, "Don't do this," because all of these bees, if one stings you, it, like, sends a like a chemical into the air that tells all the other bees there's an attack and they all sting you. I don't want that. Even if I live, I don't want that. I've seen My Girl. He needs his glasses! I'm sorry. I'm broken inside. That movie broke me. Yeah, it's like a pheromone or something. Literally, my heart would stop. Yeah, I just, oh. Mm-mm. Nope. He can't see those glasses. Thank you. Worst, best movie. Fuck. It would activate like a primal, like integral part of your brain that says like run. A shark suit under the beat. Dude, I mean, would that prevent stings and shit? Isn't a shark suit literally just chainmail? Correct me if I'm wrong. I really thought it was just chainmail. I could be totally off on that. I still get up and leave the room during that part of the movie, Viata. Don't feel bad. I can't remember if it's bees or wasps, but one of the pheromones heavily resembles pine sol? Like, it's pine sol, baby. Like that? It is, but you wouldn't feel them on you. Oh. Well, wouldn't you not feel them on you if you had a bee thing? Like, I don't want to add insult to injury. I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to change my game category and the fucking browser crashed. Of course. Like, I even need to say it. It's going to crash every day. Excuse me. I'm really excited not to have this in my lung anymore. I don't know. Mosquitoes are the worst. Dude, my mom has a horrible mosquito story, I guess. She said when she was first dating my bio dad, they went to Wisconsin to visit someone for some reason. And I guess Wisconsin is one of those places where literal, like, mosquito clouds so thick you could, like, brush your hand through them and feel the thickness of said mosquito cloud exist. And my mom and dad allegedly had to run at like top speed out of some woods they were hiking in because they were so inundated in mosquitoes they felt like they were dying. Is that a thing? I don't ever want to live there. I don't want to go there. My dad's buried in Wisconsin. I've never seen the grave because I don't want that. The mosquito fuck seems just a horrible. Like, mosquitoes are love me. I would die. I would be covered. I would just die. I've been avoiding coffee meds during the day and trying to and get that shit out. Is that worth it? Like, it made sense to me, but not sure. You don't want to take cough suppressants unless it's like to help you sleep. For instance, so absolutely, I would say yes. Because cough suppressants, they do suppress your cough, and then that shit just pools in your lungs. If you're awake and you got a good night's sleep, absolutely get that shit. Like, keep going. And like, oh, I could probably do it right now. This is gonna be really gross. If anybody's like adverse to lung sounds, close your ears for a few seconds. So I was talking about this before my lungs went shitty, but you can do something called an opera cough, and it was literally like a cough kind of developed for singers so that they don't spasm their vocal cords, which is normally what a cough is kind of doing, and then scar their vocal cords and ruin their voice or something like that. But essentially, all you do is take a huge breath and then breathe it out as fast and as much as possible, like until there is nothing left. When I do it, it's going to sound disgusting. I can almost guarantee it. Oh my god, it's not. Do that, and that actually is able to get stuff out of lower parts of your lungs than an actual physical cough can. It sometimes doesn't feel like anything's happening, but if you keep doing it, it can get stuff from like the lowest fucking lobes of your lungs because you're actually when you spasm your lungs, i.e. go cough, it blocks those really narrow low bronchial tubes. So if there's stuff in those low bronchial tubes, it won't be able to escape. See, it got some up, but yeah, you just and sometimes you can actually, at the very end, you can hear a sound that kind of sounds like a little bit of an accordion, and that's a wheeze. That is a spasming of the non-active airways because there's some shit down there. Keep going. Obviously, don't make yourself pass out. Like, don't hyperventilate. But that can be better for you than a regular cough. But yeah, cough suppressants are for if you're trying to sleep and you literally can't because you can't stop coughing because of an itch. Or some people literally cough themselves to the point where they burst blood vessels in their airways and like can aspirate that blood and die. So we do not want you coughing. We will suck the shit out of your lungs. Like, that's more safe, but that's in a hospital situation. Yeah, absolutely. Don't abuse cough suppressants. Same with like fever reducers and stuff. Like a fever, there is a point to a fever, you know? Like, fevers are specifically to burn up a virus in your body. It's your body like working really hard. And if you constantly nullify the fever, sometimes an infection can last a lot longer than it should have in the first place, but you don't want to cook as well. There's always a medium. There's always a balance. I ran through a mosquito puff small. Ooh, and I would never do that again. Nope. Nope. I've seen people on TV making patties out of mosquitoes.
No.
Nope. Expectorants. Expectorants are the shit. I mean, Rod, message them. Yeah, if it's out of the norm, I would message them. If it's normal, find a new therapist because that's fucking crazy. I used to live near the Okefenokee swamp. The mosquitoes are so thick and big they sounded like helicopters. Fuck that shit. Oh my god, I'd be dead. I would literally die. They love me. Codeine is a cough suppressant, so taking T1 may be counterproductive. What's T1? I don't know what that is. I don't do codeine. Codeine shit makes me feel like worse. I feel sick. No response. I mean, if it's out of the ordinary and this has never happened, like literally they might be in a life or death or someone might have died or something. Like it might be an emergency. It sounds like something very out of the ordinary. If I were you, check your emails, check any way of communication that your therapist might have communicated with you and canceled or rescheduled, double check the date and time, and then assume something horrible must have happened because that if it's out of the ordinary, like that's pretty fucked. It might be something terrible. I had a therapy appointment like not show up / be canceled because her husband got in a car accident like 5 minutes before our appointment. I was like, you know what? The fact that you communicated that with me is insane. Please go take care of your husband. Jesus fucking Christ. You know what I'm saying? Shit happens. Life happens. West Africa, they make like a cake using mosquitoes. It's super dense protein. I believe that, but holy no. I think I might die. I've tried insect-based food. It always leaves this weird sensation in the back of my throat, like I didn't swallow the chitin all the way. I've done the same. I've had like cricket flour, and you cannot tell. It looks just like flour, but there's something about it that's like gritty or sandy or something. It's like eating crab shells. Okefenokee. Okefenokee. I love that. That's just a fun fucking word. Anyone got 10 hours of sleep they can send me? Absolutely not. You just came into a chat run by someone who has COVID. Bro, what? You need a snack. You act weird when you're hungry. We can buy them here in Canada over the counter, but it may need something to be a prescription. Yeah, you cannot get codeine over the counter in the US. The only thing you can get that apparently is like a good I don't like this drug either, it makes me feel sick, is Sudafed. Or Sudafed, right? Sudafed, you have to go to like the pharmacist counter and they take your name and license down so you're not buying tons of it to make meth. But if you get codeine in the States, also, side note, if you buy codeine in Mexico and Canada and you try to cross the border, either hide it or don't do it because they do not allow any form of drugs going over the borders anymore. As a kid, my parents used to go up into Canada all the time and get 222s, I think they were called. It was basically aspirin with codeine for my grandparents' arthritis. That you cannot do that anymore. It's not real. So, don't ever smuggle anything across the border is my official professional response to that. But, you know, like, don't. We used to. And they do not just confiscate the things, they turn you away at the border and you have to go back wherever you bought those drugs and return them and then bring a receipt back to the border that says you returned them. Like, it's a whole deal. Yeah, don't be an idiot. Dextromethorphan is the usual cough suppressant in the US, but it's not the same as an expectorant. No, cough suppressant and expectorant are totally different. An expectorant is going to help you get shit out of your lungs. A suppressant is going to make it so you don't bronchospasm, so you can sleep. They're totally different, yeah. I don't think they're usually together because that would literally make 0 sense at all. They can charge you if you try and get around the restrictions, 100%. Not if you value your shins, Jesus Christ. A group in my college audit class committed a felony by testing the audit controls on the sale of Sudafed from local pharmacies. That's wow. They committed a felony by testing the audit controls? What? Wow. And they presented it in class. Here's how we committed a felony. Big wow. You know what's crazy? I don't think you can literally go to Canada anymore if you have a felony. Like, they just straight up don't let you in if you have a fresh felony at all. Like, it doesn't matter what kind of special license you get. Canada just tells you to fuck off. I've seen people turned away for literally just having, like, a history of having a DUI back in the day. It comes up at the border and they do not let you in. And that's going from Washington. Does the US do that as well? Boom, there you go. Yeah. We used to go to Canada all the time and I don't have a felony, so I've never really had to look into it deeply. I did all my fuckery before the sweet age of 18, so it's all over with and all that. But yeah, I know the border has gotten a lot more strict about who they let back and forth anymore. I know some, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I know some people that have gone one way and not been able to get back to their home country because the border guards are different. Different countries, different rules and shit. And whatever let them in, they weren't allowed to get back, and they had to like like contact the fucking embassy and shit to get back. This 2K launcher is gonna fuck me. Don't be a bastard. I want to finish this game. And too stoned to figure it out right now, so we'll finish it tomorrow. Elderberry wild gummies. We have that brand, WYLD. It's got like a little deer, like deer horns or something as their emblem. Yeah. Yeah, we have those. I'll look for them. I've had, I'm trying to think, what did I get by them? I think I got dabs or something from that brand, or a pre-roll, like a, fancy pre-roll. They're like, I rolled it in this, and the keef, and like, tickled it, and it sat in the presence of Snoop Dogg for 3 days. Yeah, and the boxes are little origami. Yep, they're pretty good. Same, thank you. I kind of like, I liked it kind of looked like a witchblade bracer a little bit, but then I have like my dark crystal and shit in it. She's such a fucking talented tattoo artist, to be real. She just posted a video of herself doing another tattoo on somebody in her style, and I watched the whole thing. It's just phenomenal. Artists. One thing. Amen. No worries.
Hail Satan, Lilith, and most importantly yourself. Amen, hallelujah. Agreed.
Strawberry, dude, that's usually my default, so fuck yeah. Literally, like, when I want to try a product, strawberry is my go-to because it tends to be like the most mild flavored, and I'm more than likely not to totally hate it. And sometimes that's a thing. Um, like the fake flavors are just they're too much, I think. That's why I like fake watermelon. I feel like it's one of the strongest fake flavors that exist, and it's just too much. Fake grape is the same. I don't know. Do they in their 20 to 1s? Okay. That's fucking sick. Right, it's the worst. Cool. I'm not the only one. All right. All right, I'm gonna raid Domestic Dan because he's doing cool shit, and I haven't got to go hang out with him in a while, and I selfishly want to go say hi. I went extra late today because I thought we were closer than we were, but I take too much time, and honestly, I don't want to rush the game or cheat or anything like that just to get through it. It's great. I like BioShock, but it gives me time to download and install Cult of the Lamb, which is the next in the series, and it's not the best, but it's not the fucking worst game. It's still great. It's still part of the awesome franchise. I think it's still got a really cool theme overall. But yeah, thank you. I'm feeling so much better in general. My throat is just really, really tired right now and very dry, so I need to go make some tea or something. Do the same for yourself. Drink water, clean your bong, all the things. Pee after sex, self-loving. Seriously, clean your fucking fingernails and have a happy Fated Friday. Eat something tasty if you're as high as I am right now, because holy balls. And hang out with my friend Domestic Dan, because he's a fucking goofball and he has a good time and he's a good person. Tomorrow's Saturday, right? Yeah. Finish this. Play Cult of the, not Cult of the Lamb. Do I keep saying, it is Cult of the Lamb, right? It's BioShock 2, but like the theme is the Lamb Lady. But it's not the game Cult of the Lamb, which is a new game that came out this year. Sorry to be confused. They might be called something different. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Fucking take your joy.